Hello, everybody, and welcome. What's going on? It's TCH Live Monday. I'm your host, Aaron McAvoy, here in the booth. And here in just a few moments, I'll be joined by the one and only Miss Carolyn. But she has stepped out for just a moment. So we're going to get this thing started, fired up here solo, and take a look around the table here. Let's see who's playing tonight. See, we've got PLO Bomb Pot in the works. Big country here in the 5-seat. Lots of familiar faces here. We've got on 2 here is the name of choice tonight. Big Daddy Chaz, Optimize, Durr, and Kevin. All right, couple of deuces out here on this board, couple of spades. Big Daddy Chaz has boat. He's got 2s full of 4s. Okay. There were so many small cards there. I was trying to figure out if he had a straight boat or what. Deuce is full is good.
Look at that.
And a 5?
Will he buy?
Chaz is like, yeah, I'll play the straight. Why not? And that'll win as well.
No.
All right. My tablet just shut down. Let me get back into the live stream. Is my live stream not working? What's happening? Okay, so looks like I just had to restart everything. So then I will peek here in the chat. And yeah, it was super great seeing all you guys up in Dallas. We had the Chat Pro meetup game organized by the Chat Pro Poker guys. And that was really awesome. Super cool to see all you guys meet. Some of you. Raina, yeah, the keto cake was delicious. The game was just absolutely bananas. We were playing some 1-3 800 cap, and like by the time we finished the game, I mean there were several stacks around like 4,000 or 5,000. So we were blasting, having a good time. It was super great. Skullbone, thank you very much for the final table shout out there. Yeah, did get 8th place in the Saturday tournament up there, so that was pretty cool. And Ragnar here saying if the next meetup game is in Austin, he'll be here for that one. That would be super cool. We should definitely do it again. All right, Big Daddy Chaz is on a heater. He's just going to win the first couple hands here. As we look at the chip counts, Big Daddy Chaz buying in for the full 5K. I believe that Durr did as well. I sort of didn't really get a good look there. Optimized Durr, yeah, all at 5K. On 2, bought in for 4. Big Country for 3, and Kevin is in for 2. I think we've got some more players coming as well. Yeah, so we'll get these filled in momentarily. But for the time being, we're going to play ourselves 5-5 6-handed here. All right, do my due diligence. Go over and smash the like button for myself. If y'all would like to join me in that endeavor, would always appreciate it, of course. All right. On 2 here, suited ace-9 from the small blind. He's going to call. Looks like we had an open to 25, yep, from Kevin. Called in 3 spots, so we're going to go 4 ways to a flop here. $100 in the middle. As we've got the flop strategically hidden right behind the graphic there. Okay, now we can see it. Jack 10 deuce. Pretty solid flop here for Kevin. Top 2 pair. And on could maybe peel one off if he's feeling spicy. Yeah, he does. A couple of backdoors here. 5 of spades here on the turn would have given Big Daddy Chaz a set of 5s. This doesn't improve On's hand at all, so on 2 is likely going to go for the check fold here. However, on will zig and zag at times that you don't really expect. So let's see how he plays this. Kevin going to continue betting. And on. Ah, Carolyn has joined us. What's going on?
How's everyone? Everyone having a blast? I'm having fun.
Well, good. I'm glad that you are here, and hope you
Yay.
enjoyed your massage.
I did. Thank you. Thank
Very
you.
good. Yeah, so Carolyn, you were up there in Dallas with me for the meetup game. How awesome was that to hang out and play with everybody?
It was so much fun. It was such a fun game, and people were super cool. So I had a blast.
Heck yeah. Mr. Will Lottie here in the chat says he seems like he's going to take off, but Will was up there with us as well. And yeah, that was just a
Yeah.
great time. Unfortunately for Will, got bounced out of the tournament just before the money. But good run to you, sir, and have a good night.
All right.
All right, we've got a bunch of limping going on here, and it looks to me like we're going to get a very multi-way pot here. 5 players going to see this flop. Bunch of middling hands as well.
Does someone have 5-7? No. Have 3? Good. A lot of 5s, a lot of 7s. Everyone's
Yeah.
got one except for Durr, who is ahead with ace high, right?
Now, Big Daddy Chaz
it's a
up here
pair.
with the top pair and a gutty.
Ooh, that's...
Yeah, optimized fires with his bad gut shot, or bad up and downer, I should say. Big Daddy Chaz will go for the check call, and 10 of spades rolls off on the turn. Yeah, I think optimize. Okay, he's gonna keep going.
Yeah. Going for it.
He does
got one
get this one
through.
through. Yeah. Chaz giving his opponent respect for a better 8 or perhaps some sort of 2-pair flop straight. But yeah, just going to let that one go pretty easily. Was going to be tough to go 3 streets with the 8-5 there. You just kind of have to buckle up and really hope that your opponent has a lot of extra bluffs sort of in their repertoire. But Chaz says, nah, you probably just have it. And it's definitely, you know, understandable to just sort of get out of the way early before the pot gets so big that you then have to make some big, chunky river decision. All right, big country here. Suited ace 10, that's good enough for a raise.
Speaking of ace 10, Doug asking in the chat, how many bigs should I be willing to get it in with all in pre-flop with the hand as New Jersey-esque as ace 10 off? I don't know what that means, but okay. I think infinite, right?
Infinite, yes,
Infinite is the
indeed.
answer. Ooh, 9-3 of hearts. I think Big Daddy Chaz 3-betting it just for you, Aaron.
Yeah, perfect. Love the 9 triz, especially the heart variety. And yeah, there was like a $500,000 pot played at club out in California. One player holding the 9 triz of hearts, pretty special.
Yeah.
All right, optimized will flop best here. Kings up for him. Checks over to Chaz, though, as the pre-flop aggressor. He's going to go ahead and continue for about 1/3. Optimized certainly shouldn't be going anywhere. He makes the call, and big country, yeah, I mean, if your opponent didn't call, you certainly should be, but when optimized calls here, it's not looking too good for the old ace 10. Deuce of spades here on the turn.
The ace 10 looks a lot better with the deuce spades out there.
And now we find out how committed Big Daddy Chaz is to continuing with this one. I mean, the good thing for him is that his opponent is going to have a lot of sort of middling strength hands and not, you know, a ton of just super nutted hands. Right. So he can sort of just keep barreling here and put a lot of his opponent's range into a tough spot. 2 red 8s is pretty darn good hand to continue with here, though, for optimized. Second flush draw comes in. He doesn't block either of those. Pocket 8s is just going to be good so much of the time.
Yeah, it's just a matter of how much pressure do you want, can you withstand on the river? Because if the river's a brick and 8s are good, you know Chaz is still betting it. And are you going to call here just to say, oh, it's too much, I can't call on the river, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think, and that's a fair description of probably the thought process that was going on there for optimized. There's also something to be said, though, for recognizing that sometimes if you call 2 streets on these like flush draw heavy boards, your opponent can get to the river have bricked their flush draw, and I was like, now I have the worst possible hand to bluff with because I have the busted flush draw, and I want my opponent to have had that. So then they can shut it down and just sort of, you can pick it up without having to face that big,
Sure.
nasty river barrel. Of course, of all the players at the table here, I think Chaz certainly going to be the most capable, the most committed to being like, no, like, we're going for it.
Yeah,
And here comes
absolutely.
this massive pot-sized river bet, and what are you going to do with your 2 red 8s now? But, yeah. It's also fine to get to a river and have some call folds, you know, and 8s might fit in there pretty well if you're constructing a range that's nice and balanced. You're always going to have some folds on the river, even if you called 2 streets previously. All right, multi-way action once again. 10 high board, rainbow flop. On 2 has an up and downer. Optimized top pair. Garrett Mowry, thank you very much for subscribing. Welcome to the TCH Live team. Mosquito Josh here is on the way. Hasn't played with
let's
Chaz
go.
since the President's Day Massacre, but he's going to be back in the mix. So
Was
looking
that the
forward
day
to
that
seeing you here,
Josh
Josh.
won all the ships?
I'm going to guess that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
When Josh just basically backed up the truck, you
Yeah.
know, as you say.
This is getting spicy. Durr raising to 675.
Very interesting choice of hand combination here to go for the bluff with. I mean, I think this is mostly just like any 2 and does have some, like, got an overcard, has one kind of bad backdoor.
And Durr is now somehow ahead, technically speaking.
Yeah, because he got the best hand to fold with
Yep.
the top pair, and now On is the only player to continue with the up and down straight draw. Ace of spades now on the turn. And yeah, Durr is somehow just in here with the best hand.
Yep.
But On,
On's
though,
No,
after...
not going to give up. No
Yeah.
way. After calling the check. Oh, what
Oh, I guess
happened
On
here?
did check. Wait.
Did he act out of turn?
Oh.
Ah.
Okay. So the button was misplaced there for a second. Durr had it in front of him, but it is him first
To
to
his
act.
right, yeah.
So Durr checks, On bets 800 and gets a call?
No,
or
Durr
Oh,
bet.
this is just backwards.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Durr bet on. I don't think has. I can't tell if he's made a decision yet.
Yeah, so On is in the tank here, and he is going to rip it.
And I imagine.
Yeah, he's going to fold. That was the most amazing hand to start things off here. I mean, this is
that
the
was
first
fantastic.
orbit. And that
God,
was
On is he is a beast.
stone cold killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, just being like, no, I am going to put max pressure and realize all my equity.
Yeah.
Like, I'm all in. What are you going to do about it?
Yep.
And, of course, Durr is in there with the
King High and
very spicy King High.
yeah, we got some people in the chat discussing yesterday. It was a huge success. It was great. 4 full tables. We were in there playing for like 6 hours. It was still running. We had dinner reservations, so we had to leave. But
Yep.
everyone was having a great time. This is going to be a misdeal because On has 3 cards.
Womp, womp. Yeah, no, we're going to get this sorted out here momentarily.
Once
But,
On looks at his hand and realizes he has 3 cards.
Yeah. First of all, just like,
Although, I guess there's too much action now, and now On just has a dead hand. I'm not going to. The dealer at the table should probably. I mean, technically speaking, that many folds is still significant enough action. You have to just call it a dead hand, but we're being extra friendly.
yeah.
Because
friendly
these
game.
people know
Friendly
each
game.
other, and we're all in good spirits. It was an honest mistake, and nobody put any more money in the pot or anything.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. So as we get this next hand dealt out here, yeah, so we had the 4 tables going at the meetup game. The first table that Carolyn and I started at was
The fun
freaking
table.
off the hook.
It
Like, we
was-
started playing Last Man Standing, otherwise known as
Texas,
Texas
stand up or the stand up game or whatever.
Exactly. And we started playing that like immediately.
Yep.
And that changed the tone of the game from like a regular 1-3 right off the bat, and just got infinite chips in the middle over and over and over. And the worst hand kept winning. It was pretty spectacular.
Yeah, yeah. Except when I had the worst hand and was really trying to not be the last man standing. That didn't work for me. Thankfully, I think that was the only hand I lost all night. So, I mean, it was beautiful.
Yeah, no, you ended up turning that around pretty quick.
Yeah. It all went very well for me by the end of the night. So,
All right,
I
Kevin.
can't complain.
Yeah, Kevin dropping in a 3-bet here from the small blind. He's going to get called in 2 spots and gets outflopped by Big Daddy Chaz with the 4 Dewey. On 2 has an up and down straight draw,
Yeah,
2 overs to the board
yeah.
as well. Kevin here out of position is just going to check. This is not his board. He has no club. And yeah, this is a nice chunky 3/4 pot size bet here or so from on 2. Chaz will ditch the bottom pair, and on 2 will take it down.
Shows the 10 high.
Pez is here in the chat. Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, Pez? Nice to see you yesterday.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Poker Monkey, good to meet you. Alice, what else we got in here? I saw Rena. Yeah, Rena made us a lovely cake. It's delicious.
And Pez here saying it was 1-3-20-40. Yeah, we had a lot of straddles going on, that's for sure.
Yeah, so I think it's probably a good thing that Dallas and Austin have different rules on straddles. So let's just clear that up. Dallas's straddle rules at their any games under 510 is just single straddle only, and it's up to 5 times the big blind. So 1-3 would be $15 max, 1 straddle. That's it. But because it was kind of a private game-ish situation, we didn't even know this at first, but at the other tables, they were playing like Austin rules, which is all the straddles you want all the time for any amount.
Yeah.
And we found that out.
Let's
Oh,
come
look
back
at
to that
this.
because we have a serious flop here. Big Country and Durr both flopping trip queens, but Durr has a jack to go with it for a boat. And I dare say that Big Country, barring improvement, is going to get stacked here. Raise to 50 pre-flop from Durr. Big Country just smooth calling with the ace-queen. Now flopping trips with top kicker. It's going to go check raise to 275. And on our sort of blurry camera over here, we're going to
Yeah,
see
we got
Durr
some
go
focus
for the
issues.
call in position. 4 of diamonds on the turn. Changes nothing. Big Country has his equity shrivel up to just 8%. He's looking for an ace or a jack to chop. $425 here from Big Country, and Durr is like, cool.
Yep.
You must have like a good jack or a queen, something like that. So I'll just keep calling in position, and it's an ace of spades. Ace of spades, ace from space. Durr is going to get the 8%er straight to the dome piece.
Gross.
And Big Country now 1.9K. SPR just a little bit over 1. And now he's got to try to figure out how to get max value here. It pretty much doesn't matter. I think he's going to bet any amount, and Durr is going to go all in because
Right.
he just loses to nothing except Big Country's exact hand here. Big Country is going to make this a good price to, ensure that Durr will call with all sorts of things. 600 into 1.5, just about 1/3 pot. And now Durr here will think for a moment before going all in, presumably.
What? Is that a flat call? Oh,
No,
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 he
no.
said all in. Okay. That looked like 600 chips or in chips. And,
Big Country will make the call, and Durr will see that that was the only river
yeah.
that could do what it did.
Yeah.
Spicy hand there, Mr.
I think
Pistol
Pete
Pete.
feels bad. He's like, oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, well, of course that hand was going to play out that way no matter what. Once the players saw the flop, it was just that ace of spades hanging out in the deck waiting to come off on the river. Pretty gross spot there for Durr, but
John dealing coolers to start.
yeah, well, that's a nice and spicy hand there as Big Country will get his stack counted down, doubled up, and he is going to move up right there next to Big Daddy Chaz at the top of the chip counts. 5.3K for that man. Nice pot for Pistol Pete.
Oh, yeah. So anyways, back to what I was going to say about the game in Dallas is that had we known that we could make our own rules about straddles and we're just re-straddling, that game would have gotten real out of control. So I think it's probably for the best
Yeah,
that we were limited to just the single straddle.
it was already bananas enough.
It was nuts.
Because
So
people were just blind raising instead of straddling. They were like, oh, what? I
yeah,
can't
they were doing
straddle? Okay.
essentially sleeper straddles as just blind raises from anywhere at the table. And we also were we were letting the actual dealer, not the dealer button, but the dealer choose our bomb pots. Any game goes.
That was fun.
That was very fun.
Played one of my favorite games, Hideaway, several times.
Yep.
Big fan of that game.
But it was a blast. We had a very good time. I hope everybody who was able to make it had a good time as well.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to the next one already.
Yeah.
All right,
sure.
5-5-10. Durr here, after suffering that sick, nasty beat on the last hand, will be first to act here. Big Country on the button. He's going to come in for a raise with a suited ace tray. This game is going to be even more exciting when we get Mosquito Josh on the phone.
Oh, yeah.
And then we'll still have a spot or two available. I'm not sure if we've already got people on the way for those. Dave? Okay, Dave will be taking a seat here momentarily. Big Daddy Chaz 3-betting from the big blind with 5 tray offsuit. He is dominated and out of position here if Big Country makes the call. He did because there's a flop out there. We're just waiting for the action to get, pardon me, caught up. I see a 7 of something, and that's about all I can make out.
7 diamonds is somewhere on the board.
Chaz will continue for half pot, and yeah.
5 high, we'll take it down.
All right, what do you say we do a little bit of
yeah.
D-Gen gambling,
I
shall
almost
we?
forgot about that.
All right.
Let's get it going.
You want to go first?
Did we leave Caitlin in Dallas? I don't know. I mean, I don't think so. I didn't leave anybody in. Well, I left everybody in Dallas, actually. I drove home last night. So when I came home, everyone else was still in Dallas. All right. Ed would like to know how you did in the tournament.
I got 8th place, which was a pretty darn good showing. I was a little sad that I couldn't make it further, but yeah, 8th place. Final table, always a good showing.
All right. Ready, set, go. Oh, I didn't hit the button. I hit the right.
You just wanted me to go first. It's cool. I'll take the 99. All right. We went multi-way once again here. Queen high board, Kevin, with a couple of 10s getting out flopped by Big Country. Top. Kevin continues small, and yeah, that was it was a dirty trick of missing the enter button there, Miss Carolyn. I'm kidding. Well rolled. Here's
Thank
my
you.
$20.
It's all skill. All
All
skill.
skill. Another queen here on the turn, and Big Country cannot stop making big hands with his ace queen.
Yeah.
Durr
Must be
calling
nice.
with the bottom pair, as well as Big Daddy Chaz with the gut shot. Kevin will actually see this card and think that his hand is potentially the best one, continue betting. He's going to go small-ish, 175, so not quite half pot. Big Country is loving this, but has to decide if he's going to raise or just call. It's kind of weird when you go 4 ways on a flop bet. You start to wonder sort of what these other guys are holding, but
Right.
when you have this hand like completely crushed with ace queen here, you generally will think that they're going to have some sort of straight draw. I wouldn't want to give them too good of a price to continue, like a 5-7, something like that. But doesn't matter. Big Country makes the call. The other 2 opponents fold out, and now it's another card pairing the board. 6 here on the end. $770 in the middle. Heat here is going to make it very small, very affordable, $225, and Kevin now has to decide if his opponent would ever do this with an 8 or some sort of busted straight draw. Maybe even a pocket pair, like if he ever has 9s or 7s or something. It's just kind of a tough spot to ever get away from. You're getting such a good price. Your hand is like really good, queens and 10s. All the draws missed. Yeah, he's going to make the call. And Big Country, Pistol Pete, going to take down another one with another full house with ace queen.
I should say they keep giving me this hand, and it's been pretty good.
Yeah.
Right here.
That was Pete.
Money bags over there. Money bags.
So Big Country will assemble another giant pile of chips into stacks in front of him as we move on to the next hand here.
Yeah, let's see what you like.
What's up, Pepe?
Is this our newest player joining us? It looks like it just might
believe
be.
it is.
A lot of options, dude.
As we understand, this is going to be Dave. We know Dave.
He's going to circle around the table. Oh, settle on the 4 seat. Okay, here we go. So he'll squeeze in.
Just the one that means that everybody has to move for him. You know, it's just trying to be difficult.
Well, he may have drawn a card. I don't know. You know, those 3 seats were still presumably available to draw from. And who knows? But he is going to take that spot right there in the 4 seat between Kevin and Big Country. And we'll see who we can get into the 1 and the 2 seat here before long. 5, 5. Do we have the 10 on? Is the 10 mandatory, or are they just doing that sort of willy-nilly? Willy-nilly 10s. All right.
Well, pretty,
Jedi Master Ted here says he loves Big Country. The biggest hands he's ever played at TCH are against him. Yeah, no, Pete will.
Yeah.
He'll fire away. He'll get into some big ones with you, and it's a lot of fun because Pete will start talking to you in the middle of the hand and stuff. You know, trying to figure out what you're up to. He's just he's a funny guy, that's for sure.
Yep.
He's going to raise to 10. Massive min click. Big Daddy Chaz will 3-bet him to 50. And that's going to then get called by both Durr and Big Country playing their middling connectors.
All right. Durr flopping up and down. Pete's got a gutter, I guess. And Chaz has an overpair. Yeah, that's where we're at with this one.
Yeah, Durr's going to play this one as just a check call. A little bit too much equity to need to turn it into a bluff.
Pete would hit his gutter, Big Country, giving Durr a pair, which is not going to be a winning hand currently.
Chaz here has taken off the cap. to complete this hand.
He's just letting his locks flow and breathe, you know?
That's right. All right. Check, bet a 225 and a call, and a 10 of hearts here on the end. Going to go ahead and bring in the straight for both players. Durr on the bottom end here. Big Daddy Chaz hitting the gutty and improving to the jack high straight. Now he has to decide if he's going to pick a size. Having 2 jacks in his hand, he should definitely be targeting like a 2-pair holding. So doesn't want to go too spicy, but definitely also wants to get max value. Make it look like he could be bluffing every once in a while. Yeah, 550, big chunky bet there actually, 2/3 plus, and he's going to get snapped by Durr with the bottom end of the straight.
Yeah. I don't. That makes sense, you know? I guess. Maybe not.
Well, what you have to ask yourself a lot of times in these situations, if you're trying to play balanced against a strong, like competent opponent that is going to be balanced themselves, which, you know, Chaz is going to do, you kind of have to ask yourself, like, what are the best hands that I'm ever going to have in this spot? And like, a straight is
Yeah,
just
it's
the best
very
hand
good,
you're going
yeah.
to have. And so if you go folding your straights, you're kind of folding everything. So I think there, Durr is just sort of, you know,
No, I
recognizing he's
absolutely
handcuffed,
am
like, I
not,
have to call
yeah.
with a straight.
I have absolutely no problem with the call there. I think it's perfectly reasonable.
I think I had like ace queen, someone had ace.
Yeah, there's no question. It's more of just a matter of like, when you see that, you're like, oh man, how do you have? I guess, but then I was thinking like, oh well, Jack 10 is the straight on the turn, so. But that's not really relevant. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and especially you are kind of put in these weird spots when, like, there are no relevant blockers because it's just a one-liner on the board, and you're like, well, I don't have any way to improve my choices here of, like, which hands to call with and which ones to fold because there just aren't any blocker effects. Checky on the flop after Optimize raised pre got called by Kevin out of the big blind, and Kevin here is going to go ahead and lead with his turned pair of threes for a full pot size wager. This is basically just a probe to try to take it down without any resistance.
All right, we got a super chat here from JTN 1968. Aaron's saying the worst hand was winning at the mug was his discreet way of saying, I cracked his aces, LOL. It was fun, I got wrecked, and when is the next one? Yeah. If you are not aware, JTN 1968 was there, got it all in pre-flop against Aaron's aces with ace king, and king on the flop, and king on the river.
Yeah, that was a spicy one.
Yep.
Nice hand there, buddy. And by the end of it, we both got teamed up pretty good.
By the end of it, Carolyn took everyone's money.
That is correct.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks very much for the super chat, and it was awesome to see you, Joel. And yeah, looking forward to doing the next one. All right. Speaking of the next one, we're on to the next hand. Optimize. We'll open the cutoff, ace-8 off. As Carolyn is letting her locks flow
I
and
am,
breathe.
yeah. The purpose of this is because my hair's wet.
Well, you definitely got to let them flow and breathe then.
Yeah. Otherwise, who knows what'll happen.
Yeah. Big Country here, going to make the call, defend his straddle.
All
Neither
right.
player flops a pair, so Optimize here is still best with his 8 playing. He's going to bet 60 here, 2/3 pot on this king 10 deuce two-tone board. Big Country with the ace of clubs is going to go ahead and peel one off. Comes 10 of diamonds, and now these two players are looking at chopping this on plenty of rivers if we do get there. Going to be another bet here from Optimize, and this is one of those spots that you generally start slowing down. He's going to get this one through, but when the second card on the board pairs really hard to rep a strong hand because you're just going to be checking so much. That's like the best card for your opponent's range. In fact, a lot of times your opponent can just start donking into you when the second card on the board pairs. But went all the way down under there.
I know. As soon as I looked behind the computer, I was like, "Oh, there's a hole there."
Yeah,
And a hole there.
Exactly.
And that's gone forever.
A cap, yeah.
I would like it back when you get a second. No rush, Kristen. It's under your desk on the other side of the wall. Yeah.
Yeah, so that hand is over. And we're on to the next one. We got the 5-5. The 10 is on 2. Got the 10 out there.
So is there a reason this is on 2? What happened to on 1? Oh, okay.
He upgraded his firmware. And yeah, he's on 2.
So when did this happen?
Today.
So today was the upgrade. All right.
Yeah.
So far, I think it's the upgrade is running smoothly.
Yeah,
From what
yeah,
I
no
see.
glitches yet.
Yeah.
Everything seems to be working out well. We'll see if we get a blue screen at any point, or if things just keep humming along. All right, raise to 45 from on 2.0, and Dave will make the call. Big Country, of course, going to see a flop with the 8-7 of hearts. We inadvertently had him folded out here, but he is in the hand. So this is 3 ways to a flop. All right. So on 2.0 here, going to flop the ace high flush draw.
Oh, I rolled that. Sorry.
Bets 175 with the nut flush draw. Everybody folds. He wins.
I smelt it. Thank you very much.
And yeah, let's take a look back in the chat and see what's going on up in here. We got some gambling going on here. Mike Parkus and Alice Acuna getting some wins, some binks.
Yeah.
Great meeting you. Great seeing you up there, Alice. Ragnar getting owned. Raina and Poker Monkey winning as well. Awesome. Good job, guys.
Talking about Twin River Casino in Rhode Island. That I have family down in Rhode Island. I was gonna say down there because I'm from New Hampshire, so it's south of New Hampshire, but we're not there. We're in Texas, so it's like
true.
way, way up there.
You sign up for
Is it like in the middle of nowhere, or is that one
Rhode Island.
the
state?
casino that you're talking about?
There's not really any place in the state of Rhode Island that is the middle of nowhere. It's the
I guess
most
that's true.
densely populated state in the country. It's just people and things and houses.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, sounds right. Alrighty. 5-5 for the next one. 10 is on.
5,
There
5,
we go.
10. No, I thought we had a new player. That didn't happen. Hoping Josh is still on his way.
All right. Josh will be joining us momentarily,
Yes.
so excellent. Kevin here with a couple of unscanned cards. Going to race to 35. Going to get called in a couple of spots, so we're going to go 4 ways to a flop. Kevin, the pre-flop aggressor. Jack 3 deuce, 2-tone. Big Country's going to lead out here with his middle pair and backdoor wheel draw. Oh no, he's on the button, so it checked to him. Sorry, the action went very quickly there. Yeah,
He's
so
gonna take it
checks to
down?
him, he
Yeah.
bets, and he wins.
Yep.
Great.
Easy game.
ace queen good.
All right.
Yeah, sorry, Ragnar. Had to put you on blast there for your crappy roll.
It happens to the best of us.
Definitely does. Also happened to me not too long ago. I'm now stuck 20 bucks.
Indeed. Oh, thank you, Ragnar Overby, mentioning the Texas Poker Experience, Caitlin's podcast, Caitlin Komeski, where I was a guest a few weeks ago, which was a blast. So thank you for listening. David Pratt, making himself known in the chat. He's here.
What is up, good sir?
He wants to gamble.
Well, you may just have to wait for our next opportunity because the last time we gambled was at 6:40, and yeah, we've still got some time to kill. So remind me again at 10 after the hour, and we'll do it up.
See which one's better position.
Oh, and he's already heading out,
Well,
so
let's just check out this hand before we get ahead of ourselves. Big Country has King 10 of clubs. Pre-flop it was raise to 65, call from optimize with sixes. And top pair versus bottom set. A bet, a raise, and I presume a call. Yeah, there we go.
yeah, can't quite fold the top pair with the king kicker right away as Big Country, but it's a pretty gross looking board to have top pair king kicker on because it's super connected and there isn't an immediate flush draw. So when your opponent comes out firing, you kind of have to squint at it and be like, all right, if they're balanced, they're going to find some good bluffs that don't, sort of have natural continues, like flush draws, things of that nature. But yeah, he is going to get away from it on the ace of hearts turn and save himself any further damage.
Ed wondering how much you owe me. Well, he's already paid, so he doesn't owe me anything right now. But he is stuck $20 in gambling tonight. So,
Yep.
all right. What else we got? Squiroo checking in. Hello. Welcome.
Hey, what's going on? Mr. Pratt, if you have to leave, then you can do your gamble, and then I'll tell you whether or not you won or not against my next roll. If you want to do it that way, otherwise, you got to wait until 10 after the hour.
Will be the impartial. I will make sure Aaron is honest with you, Pratt. It doesn't try and cheat you out of $20. So
Whamboozle him out of 20.
indeed.
All right, $10 straddle is on, and we've got some limps up front. Starting with Dave, Big Country on 2.0, all following suit, and then Durr is going to squeeze with the Queen 8 of diamonds. Josh has joined us. He is in the 2 seat, locked and loaded. Dave will go for the limp and the call, and that will result in everyone going for the limp and the call behind. And Big Daddy Chaz actually was in there with the raise to 75, so it was not a squeeze from Durr after all. The action was a little bit incorrect. It was a raise from Chaz on the button. Durr just making the call, and then everyone else following suit. All right, 10 high board, 2 tone. On has a pair and a flush draw. Big Country, top pair. Dave, a couple of backdoors, and not much else there for the remaining players. So yeah, Chaz will check out immediately. Dave has an interesting spot here, but he's just going to let it go.
As one does.
Big Country and on 2.0, just about a 50-50 split in the equities here. King of diamonds now on the turn. The top pair is now best 68-32 if we make it to showdown. Checky, and 3 of spades on the river will change nothing. On 2.0, going to finish with just the pair of 5s. And Big Country here first to act. I'd like to see a smallish bet here for value, and he's going to oblige with a very small bet, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no,
Oh.
325.
Okay.
Okay, there were more black chips there than I gave him credit for or didn't see them.
Trying to be able to keep up with this basketball game that's happening right now.
Oh, yeah? Got anything on it, or you just
No, I'm just a
want
Celtics
the
fan.
Mavs to win?
Oh, the Celtics Nets.
Oh,
game.
sorry. Mavs play tomorrow. Is that right? You don't know? Okay.
I don't really. I'm not particularly invested emotionally in that game.
Okay. But this
But
one.
Celtics are my team. You know, I'm from the Boston area.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So I have, you know, an emotional investment in it. I'm trying to see if I can't make that happen.
Yeah. Keep up with your team. So Pistol Pete, Mr. Big Country, going to go ahead and take down another one. Add more chippies to his already burgeoning stack. Got a little poll here in the chat. Have you obliterated the like button? Well, I have, so I hit yes.
Scared of what?
All
She's
right.
fine.
So $10 straddle and some limps. Still limping now. We've got a squeeze. Big Daddy Chaz here going to raise the cutoff. 9-7 of clubs. Durr makes the call. Queen 10 of clubs out of the small blind. And then Dave and On 2.0 are also going to make their way to a flop. So here we go. 4 players to a flop. 385 in the middle. Wish the flop didn't quite get buried under the graphic there with the current camera settings, but that is the way of the world right now. Jack 8-4, rainbow flop. Lots of unfocused cameras here tonight. Okay, so we are on it at the moment. We've got producer Dave going to try to sort this out. All right, so 2 players with gut shots and backdoor flush draws. 3 players, honestly, with gut shots. And all 3 of those players are going to see a turn. Jack of spades, so now we've got a gut shot to the straight flush for Dave. No one actually has anything, though, so queen high is just best right now. Checky over to Big Daddy Chaz here with a bad gut shot. He's going to check back, realize his equity, and it's a 6 of clubs on the end, which will change nothing. So if we get to showdown, Durr and Dave will chop with queen high. I imagine someone's going to take a stab at this. Let's see who it is. Durr with the first opportunity. See if he exercises said opportunity. He is going to come out firing, and this will be for an amount that I suspect no one will want to come over the top of or do anything with. Dave will fold. Chaz right behind him. Well played. Durr takes down that 1,000 chip pot. Nice and easy. All right, David Pratt says he'll gamble from his Uber, so we'll have to we'll have to
It's
fire
dedication.
that up. That's right. All right, $10 straddle is on. Big Country first to act. On will get things started with a limp. And optimize. Gonna open it up. 50 to go. King 8 suited, and Durr will instantly 3-bet him on the button to 150. On really wants to see a flop with his suited wheel ace, so he'll make the call. Optimize as well, and 3 players to a flop. 470 in the middle. Durr in position with the betting lead, and going to come king high with a jack and a 9 behind it. So optimize will flop top pair, der second pair. Checks through. 10 of hearts, this board is a one-liner to a straight. Nobody has a queen, though. But that
King
won't
is-
deter on.
Of course not. Nor should it.
260 here. And yeah, now optimize with top pair is just like...
Top pair, no kicker. Yeah. It's just,
Yes, I lose?
yeah. No, I think that's reasonable.
Yeah. King and a jack both go in the dumpster and on 2.0.
Yeah, I mean,
Firing on all
so
cylinders.
many two-pair combinations they lose to, too. Any queen. I don't know. Ace-king, I guess, also. So. Seems reasonable. All right. Let me see if I can't get this.
You just have to defeat
Basketball
the
game.
parental controls that are trying to prevent you from watching basketball.
Nope. Parental controls have been disabled.
Nice.
I just couldn't get this.
The technology to behave itself.
Yeah, I could. I thought that. I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't get into my account, but I'm in now, so it's all good.
Gravy.
Everything is wonderful.
Everything is awesome. All right, Josh here thinks that everything is awesome enough in his hand to call the, or sorry, raise to 80? Raise to 80. Dave will call with a couple of 9s. Big Country will call as well, and we're going to go 3 ways. Josh in position with the betting lead. Comes king high. Don't know what Josh is working with, but I presume it will check to him, and he'll c-bet this a lot of the time. But he's going to check it back. Jack of hearts on the turn, and Big Country has a bad gut shot. He's going to take a shot at it for 80. And Josh ain't going anywhere just yet. Josh could have something like...
I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say Josh has the winning hand.
Okay.
Mostly because Pete has 8 high. And
Dave calls,
Dave
though.
has 4th pair.
Yeah.
So no one believes Josh. The look on his face is not screaming confidence, but that could be intentional.
Definitely could be.
So, yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, all 3 players still in the hand to this 10 of spades on the river.
Yep. Huh. I think Josh has a jack.
Definitely not.
No,
Hasn't
he
showed
has
his
not.
hand. And
Oh, ace high. Never mind.
yeah, Dave going to take it down with the pocket 9s.
Wow. What a call there on the turn, I guess.
Yeah. Wins the New Mexico area code, the 505. Nice little pot there.
All right, and I missed the entire first half of the game and managed to tune in just in time to not see basketball.
Perfect.
And since I'm, watching on mute, the halftime show is not particularly interesting.
Indeed. Who is leading? Have you seen a score?
I believe the score, let's see, we got Celtics 58, Nets 50. So it is looking good for a sweep for Boston, knock on wood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They're, wow.
Yep.
Running them over.
This game 4,
Excellent.
they're up 3-0. So.
Very good. All right, optimize here. Going to open it to 50. Dirt quick call. And here we go. JC has joined us in the 1 seat. Very good. So full ring now. Up and running. JC popping in with a stack of 1.5K. He's going to make the call. Unscanned cards. And a bunch of Broadways in play at the moment. Everyone whiffs that we know of. 775. Checks to the preflop razor optimizing. He's going to take a stab at this for 75. There we go. JC has the
All right.
Queen 5 of hearts for 2 pair. And on with 2 overcards. He wants to see a turn for 75.
All right. Queen of diamonds on the turn. Now JC has queens and sevens. Still 2 pair.
3 pair. Pretty strong.
3 pair, I have heard, is not great. Is from what I understand, is that it's usually not great.
I mean, 3 pairs not terrible though either. It's better than 1 pair. It may or may not be better than 2 pair, depending on what 3 pair you have.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not possible to have 4 pair in Hold'em,
Correct.
which is really just too bad.
Yeah.
Have you ever played Omaha where if you make 4 pair, you have the nuts like you just went?
No.
Yeah, it's like a weird little.
But I've definitely made 4 pair before, so that's a game I think maybe I could be good at.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
I'm
like.
good at making hands that are not actually good in Omaha. Like, that are just like, this is like, I don't know, seems like it's a thing, but it's not. It's really just nothing. It's really just second, third, fourth, and fifth pair. And that usually isn't good.
Yep. Yeah, I haven't played much Omaha, but from what I understand, there's some little things that you can do similar to, but different than like the 7 deuce game in Hold'em, just to kind of spice things up. And from what I understand, the old 4 pair is
Yeah,
the nuts
I
kind of a thing.
mean, I like any kind of little side action games that you can get going in these, whether it's a Hold'em game or an Omaha game. I don't know that you really need to push the action with prop bets in Omaha, but sometimes in Hold'em, sometimes it's, chips aren't really moving that much in the game itself, in the lineup and card distribution kind of stuff, Oh, we got a misdeal.
Yeah, well, starting things off right here. We do have the dealer change bomb pop for 15 bucks a pop.
Yeah, not sure what happened there. I think the cards are probably just a little sticky.
Yeah.
David Pratt says 3 pair beats 2 pair. So, I mean, then I have mucked a lot of winning hands, I think.
Yeah, you're gonna have to adjust your strategy to Pratt theory
Thank you for
optimal.
the heads up, Pratt. Next time.
Cool, please.
All right, Aaron. I'm going to go. I need coffee.
Yeah, go
So I'm gonna go
caffeinate
do that.
yourself.
And
I'll
gonna
be
come
here.
Right back.
All right, I'm gonna hold down the fort while Carolyn goes, and I'm good, thank you though. Get some chemicals for her brain. Let's get these cards scanned in. Let's get a flop out there. Let's see what we working with. Ace, ace, 5, 2-tone. We already saw 1 ace out there in one of the hands that got scanned, but we'll get the rest of these in if we can. Optimize on a couple of kings. All black cards, not inspiring, so he's already out of the way. Big Daddy Chaz, I think, was the original better here. Perhaps the player's hand that we saw there for a brief moment. Bets 135. Durr just immediately ditches the trips with the 8 kicker and the 8 high flush draw. Also had a gut shot to the wheel. No, Durr called. Okay, I was like, that's a pretty tight fold. But no, he did make the call. On 2.0 is in there as well. He has backdoor royal flush outs and an immediate front door heart flush draw. 8 of spades on the turn. Now aces full for Durr, which is the nuts. Big Daddy Chaz continuing to bet, though, after on 2.0 checks. And now with the Stone Colds, let's see how Durr plays this. He's going to play this slow as a call, and I like this. Allow some of the draws to come in, perhaps allow on to continue. It's definitely possible. I mean, if Chaz has something like ace, king, queen, jack or something in his hand, like let's just take like, you know, worst case scenario in terms of his chances to improve. Like you only have to dodge those 9 outs and just hope that an overcard to the board doesn't peel off. It is a 10, so now it is possible that Big Daddy Chaz has improved to aces full of 10s, but on 2.0 still in there. Luckily for him, he did not improve to a flush. Big Daddy Chaz is going to slow it down now. If he did have something like aces full of 5s or ace king, he is now happy to just sort of get to showdown for what's in the pot. 1.6K in there. Durr just bets 500. And on, of course, now working with just aces and 10s. I would generally tend to think that he's just going to ditch this, but let's find out. Yeah, he's going to fold. And I think Chaz now has to try to figure out what does a 1/3 pot size bet into 2 players mean here at the end. If he's got ace king, I kind of think he's going to have to call, but it feels like you're just getting valued. Taken to Value Town, he is, and Durr will show him that, yeah, I got the best hand. Aces full of 8s. We won't ever quite know what Big Daddy Chaz had, but I think it was pretty clear that this was something like flop 5s full or aces full of 5s, maybe ace king. Something that was like pretty darn good, but just kind of not great either. Certainly not up against the ace 8. Ah, Irish PLO, interesting. You can use 2 or 3 cards. That's kind of cool. I like the hideaway game that we played numerous times on the dealer change bomb pots up in Dallas, where you basically play Hold'em, except you get 2 cards down standard and then 1 card up, and you could play anywhere between 0 and 3 of your cards on both boards. So you could have a flush or a full house or quads or something by playing all 3 of your cards. Like if you rolled up 6s and 1 6 comes off, well, hey, you got quads. And as far as anybody else can tell, you only have a pair of 6s. So yeah, it makes for some very entertaining and exciting hands, as people can be playing lots of hidden value hands. Anyways, we're still playing Hold'em, and we got a raise to 50 and a call. Raise to 60 and a call, I should say. Jack 8-6, rainbow flop. Big Daddy Chaz with a 1 overcard and backdoor sort of Broadway type holdings. Checks it over to Josh, the pre-flop aggressor. He continues for 75, half pot. And Chaz would have to be feeling pretty frisky here to do anything other than fold. Let's see if he's got something in mind. I'd say if he had king 10 of spades, this would be a reasonable check raising candidate. He thinks it's a reasonable check raising candidate nonetheless. 250 to go here from Chaz, and Josh lining up a call. Chaz here going to need to find a 9, a queen, something of that ilk on the turn. Does not find it. 5 of clubs, really bad card to continue blasting with his particular holding. Let's see how he approaches this, though. 640 in the middle. Yeah, quick check and a check behind from Josh. Chaz here just hoping to hit a king at this point. Doesn't find it. Finds the card that he wanted to see on the turn in order to keep barreling. And he does have the 10, so he could rep queen 10, which is definitely a possible check raising candidate on the flop that would then give up on the turn and now just sort of back into the gutty.
It's the healthiest form, for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
640 here. He's going to have to go big and polar if he wants to bet at all. He could also just continue with the give up line. Chaz, though, has a lot of heart, and he's reaching for chips. And as we said, gonna have to go big. 640 in the middle. This is gonna be a big chunky overbet.
Fructose corn syrup.
1.5x if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm trying to get off the artificial sweetener too. Those are the two.
925, yeah. And Josh here it would be interesting to see his hand if he has something like
And I drank the whole thing over the course of the stream. All 12.
he's gonna show a 10 and then
Kind of a
fold.
dare, but it was a
So we won't know what he had with the 10. If that was like 8-10 or Jack 10, I don't know. Those would be squarely in sort of bluff catch territory, but just lets it go. I think that was even the 10 of clubs if I'm
Yes.
10 of clubs, so that is a really good card to have to block all of your opponent's value hands. Like, you block his straights, you block his flushes, like, that's a really good card if it's paired with something that is a pair. But we'll never know, and
Nope.
Josh folded it anyway, so there we go.
All right. I have returned. Oh,
Sorry. Trying to rip your hair off or something. Ears, perhaps?
ears. I think it's more accurate.
Ear hears.
Hears.
Hand number 25 here. JC from +2, gonna raise it up to 50. And Josh waking up with number 2. Cowboys. I saw a bunch of Cowboys in the tournament. You saw some Cowboys
I
in the
did.
cash game.
I did.
Kings were good to us this weekend.
Yes.
that one really was. I ended up making it 3 in a few hours because I had a business.
So
lunch
third bet there from Josh, and it's going to fold back to JC, who is going to make the call. 370 in the middle. Stacked pot ratio somewhere around 5, with JC being the effective stack.
because I had the coffee during. You can still have that and electrolytes in your water.
All right.
I even had some lemon.
JC flopping nothing. Josh still with very much the best of it here. Quick bet from Josh and a fold from JC, and we will move on.
All right, Mr. Pratt, are you there in your Uber to do some gambling?
Is it that time?
It's it is that time. It's been that time for a minute, but I sort of forgot about it and haven't been getting chirped at by the chat, Pratt. So
I'm trying to keep it.
we'll see if he's with us.
All right, I'm going first.
Okay.
Bam,
Yeah, he can
done.
always catch up.
Yeah, we'll just remember what the number you rolled is, and he can gamble, 6 hours from now, and that's fine. I rolled a 14, so you're going to win this.
All right, I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, here's Pratt. He's there.
56. Let's go.
There you go.
All right. You got to beat a 56.
Oh, now
there, Pratt.
JC has kings? All right, all right. Who's stacking this deck? Josh, ace queen, just going to call. Big Country has pocket nines. He will continue. I know we got a call out of on as well. I think, 6-5 offsuit. And Durr with the 4-3 offsuit. And we're going 5 ways to this flop. And this is going to get interesting. Durr flops bottom 2. On has top pair and an open ender. JC has just the overpair right now, which is not good.
Yeah, he's going to continue. When it's super multi-way and it's really draw heavy, these low cards, I mean, I understand betting the 150. There's nothing like inherently wrong with it, but you are going to
Looks
run
like he
into
bet
some tough-
250, not 150.
Oh, 250 is indeed correct. So let's see how Durr responds to this, though, because this is a bet of 250 call, and he is on the bottom 2 pairs here. I suspect he's going to come in for a large raise.
As one does in this situation. Raises to 1,000. JC is all in for a little bit more, about 1.5K. Pete is thinking to himself, man, I know a 9's coming. I'm going to fold this.
It's always tough to fold an overpair to the board, but there are certain dynamics that will just sort of allow you to fold and not really, dwell on it for too long. On 2.0, though, is not going anywhere. He has that up and down straight drop with the top pair. He makes the call.
Did you see Pratt rolled on 99?
I did. I was trying to avoid talking about it, but
okay.
yeah, I'm India for 40 now, buddy. If you have that as well, then we're all up to date. We are going to count down the stacks here.
Hello, Carlo. It was nice seeing you yesterday. Looks like it's 1525-ish.
1530?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, maybe there was some kind of discrepancy. No, that should be
Yeah, give him 5 back.
should be pretty close to correct.
Okay, there we go. Math
yeah.
complete.
Durr not able to re-raise in this spot. It's a dead raise, just banks the straight on the turn. JC now drawing to a chop.
Yeah, on 2.0, running hot here, and with what is effectively the nuts, now going to line up a wager. He's going to go relatively small. This is like a 1/3 pot size bet, which, I mean, given how much is in the middle, like just how spicy this is, if Durr was on some sort of ace-5 of diamonds or something, well, obviously ace-5 of diamonds continuing, but ace-X of diamonds or something somehow, would have given him a price to continue, but he does fold. What would have been a boat folds the 4-3. It's a 3 on the end. He would have had a boat, and so for just 1/3 pot, he could have continued and seen that 3 on the end. Lets it go, was behind, misses out on the boat opportunity, and on 2.0 is going to scoop this gigantic pot.
This software update is amazing.
Yeah, no, that is a very solid decision to upgrade the firmware. My goodness. And yeah, imagine just like being like, dude, I'm just totally dead here. Fold the 2 pair and watch your boat out just snap peel off on the river. Oh.
I know. JT in 1968 saying that he was surprised that Ryan Crow was so low key because, according to him, the dealers and floors are crazy, quote unquote.
That's what the big stack is now.
I don't know what you're trying to get at here, buddy. Those are my people. They're not crazy.
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 I was crazy once.
Just kidding. They're all a little nuts. That's legit.
I think it's a prereq for the job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, on we'll need just about the next half an hour or so to stack all of these chips, sort them, and stack
Well,
them.
he seems to be doing it one chip at a time.
Well, it's the only appropriate way to do it.
I can do that.
Big Daddy Chaz, still capless, raised to 50.
He's really, showing off his hair today. He's feeling it. He's got. I actually feel like he has way more hair than I remember. Did he always have that much hair?
It's always tough because whenever he's on the stream, he pretty much always exclusively wears the cap, and so it's it's like some of the players
really thick hair.
Yeah, no, he's rocking it. But it's sort of like the players that have been wearing masks, like from the
When
beginning
you
of
see
COVID,
their
and
face
still.
finally, and you're like,
Yeah.
you look nothing like I imagined in my head. The bottom half of your face
Totally different.
is not what I was thinking it was going to be.
So 4 players saw the flop. we checked through, and now Optimize is going to probe for 175. Or else it was a small bet on the flop from Chaz. I can't imagine Chaz checking back there. He can from time to time, so maybe he did check back. Did miss that action there, so I apologize for that. But on 2.0, gonna make the call, and now it's on to Chaz, who will follow suit. 3 players to a river.
Yeah, I mean, not sure what Optimize's cards are on. Could scan his cards if he got the chips out of the way, but
It's a good problem to have. Sorry, I
Yeah.
can't scan my cards. There are too many chips over here. Optimize will continue. And if he was betting some sort of combo draw on the turn, it is a flush now. Very real possibility. Goes somewhere around 2/3.
I mean, it could be a straight flush. Who knows?
On 2.0, doesn't have 5-4 diamonds or anything close in value, so he'll fold. Tough for Chaz here, because your opponent is unlikely to be value betting a hand like Ace-10. It's possible, but sort of unlikely at this point into multiple players with the backdoor diamonds kind of coming in like that. So this could be just a bluff with like an 8 or something. And Chaz is going to raise here. Wow, he's going to merge this hand. I mean, I guess no, he's not. This isn't even a merge. This is just a straight bluff. 1.5K here. Taking the top pair, turning it into a bluff. You don't see this very often. But Chaz definitely capable. And Optimize makes the call. I think
He has
he's got
a straight somehow. No, he's got a flush.
Yeah, flush. Yeah, that's more what
Yeah, I
was
don't know why he
thinking.
thought about it for so long. I guess he could be. Yeah, 10 of diamonds, jack of diamonds. I guess he was thinking he could have been up against a bigger flush, but I mean, you're still not folding. So.
No, and I mean,
So,
I
I
don't
mean,
think
just come to terms with the fact that you could lose this, I guess. Sometimes you just have to sit there and be like, I mean, theoretically, he could have Ace-5 of diamonds here, and I will pay him off if he does.
Yeah, I genuinely don't think that Optimize was really thinking about folding as much as you just don't expect to get raised there
Right.
ever with the way that the hand played out. And so you're kind of just like, wait, is there anything that can beat me? Like, really, that I should be worried about? And once you scan the board a few
Yeah.
times, you're like, no. Like, I have
Like,
to call.
it's not a paired board. It's,
Yeah.
yeah, when you're in that spot, when you have, you're not sitting on like a 7 high flush. You have the jack high flush. It's, I guess, 4th nuts. And it's not like the only thing you're like, is this board paired? Did I miss that? Does he have a boat? No, he can't. Oh, then I guess I call.
Yeah. Yeah, and unless I'm misremembering, the Ace of Diamonds was actually out there, so he was sitting on the 3rd nut, which is
I
just...
don't believe so.
Oh, okay, so I must have misread that. So, yeah, just...
Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Or I guess I could just back it up.
back it up. Kevin here, Ace, Jack offsuit from the straddle. He's going to put in a 4th bet, cold 4 out of the straddle from Kevin.
No, Ace of Hearts indoors.
Very good. Yep, so 4th nuts it was. 500 to go here from Kevin. He 4Xs from the straddle. Leaves himself only 900 behind. No, that's not true. We can see he's got 3 pinks lurking on top of his white tower.
Yes.
So don't quite have Kevin's stack up to date, but I think this is just going to get through nonetheless. Yeah, he just wins. So it doesn't matter. But, at some point, probably get Kevin's stack.
Yeah,
Maybe
should
just
have
an extra
about
1,000.
24. Well, an extra 1,500, whatever he's got plus 15. I would think. I'm not, maybe. Would be a good guess.
Derek here joining us in the chat. Hey, what's up, dude? Yeah, thank you very much for bringing the White Claws, the Coronas, and yourself. That was awesome. What a fun game.
I'm wrong? What am I wrong about?
everything. JTN's got my back. No, she was right, though. It wasn't the ace of diamonds out there, but it was still...
I know. I went back and verified. It was the ace
Are you
of
about the
hearts,
35 now?
maybe there was a straight flush, so it wasn't the fourth nuts.
Oh, that is
Maybe,
correct.
maybe.
But I did acknowledge the fact that the straight flush was a possibility, so I feel like I should get credit for that.
There we go. All
I
right.
know what I'm talking about though, right? Oh yeah. Rocks like 2 foot underwater.
Okay, on 2.0 is on the raisin train. Hold in a few spots and multi-way action once again. Seen a lot of multi-way pots here. It's a pretty good flop for pocket sevens. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, Josh could have deuces though, so who knows? You better play it slow. Just be careful.
Checky, 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 checky.
Turn is going to be a mystery card.
So,
Nine of hearts.
love that 9 of hearts, especially when you pair it with 3 of hearts. Durr does make top pair here, and this could be dangerous as it checks all the way back to him. He is going to bet. And the problem with playing this one so slow is that when you inevitably start raising, it's just kind of like alarm bells go raging. There's just...
Yeah, and I mean, nobody has anything even remotely. I mean, a 9. I guess Durr could call him with a 9, but he does.
Check call once more
He
from
might get
Kevin.
another couple bucks out of him. I'll check. No.
I was like, hold on.
Durr turns it over like, yeah, no, I could beat a 7. Oh,
That's a full house.
More than one
I
seven.
guess. That's okay.
Those guys that sling
Looking at the chip counts, Big Daddy Chaz on 2.0 up at the top of the counts. The B pips, we got Big Country on 2.0, Big Daddy Chaz
cool. I like to try that sometimes.
all up at the top. I'd like to see that. On has fully assembled his massive accumulation of chips into towers.
Squiroo, I vote that you turn that into, like, I don't know, a comic or something. I don't know. Someone should do that. Because that would be adorable. Saying, sometimes I wonder if there's a mouse hole somewhere there with a bunch of degen mice battling it out in a tournament for the title of Texas Card Mouse.
Texas Card Mouse. I like that. That would be a fun little,
Yeah, it'd be cute.
little sketch.
All
Big Daddy
right.
Chaz with some
Yeah, no
J-win.
straddle on this hand, it looks like. Raises to 25, which seems small, but in reality, very appropriate. But when you have straddles and double straddles on every hand, and someone opens to 25, you're like, what happened? Like, why is it so little?
Yeah. Durr still in here. If he flats the open and flats the 3-bet with the 10-6, he makes middle pair here. Big Daddy Chaz playing his jacks slowly. Is man in the middle with second pair on this board. Josh continues 2/3 with just a backdoor straight and an overcard. Chaz makes the call. And Durr makes the call. So here we go. Pot bloated up to $900. 8 of clubs now on the turn. No help to Josh. Let's see if he just shuts this down. It's checks to him again. He's on 1.8K, so SPR of 2 for that man. And he's going to keep going. 650 now. Chaz is out of there.
That's, yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't, Chaz could hero call with jacks. But I think a fold there is also perfectly reasonable.
Yeah, no, the way that hand was played, it definitely looked like Josh just had it. And he was over there on the old ace-5 wheel with no connection to the board.
Yeah.
Just kept blasting away. So
Yep.
take it down. Aggression wins.
Nobody had a queen. Nobody felt compelled to keep him honest there. So. that's how it's done. All right.
Ragnar. We should have a Texas card blouse in the merch shop. Nice.
A Texas card mouse wearing a Texas card blouse.
Ooh, perfect.
It's a Texas card mouse blouse.
All right. I presume there were some straddles out here as we have Durr raising to 150. Kevin calling. Big Country only calling with his pocket J wins as well. And Big Daddy Chaz is in here. He's ready to blast as well. 7-4. He had put on a $50 straddle, so this is sort of reasonable. Ace, King, Queen. My goodness.
Hey. Ace 10 is best right now. Yeah. Big Country has, I guess, a gutter. Well, I guess Ace 10's a gutter too. A Jack would be very spicy.
Sure would. Jack or a 10, really. But checks all the way through. Kevin decides to just check behind. He figures he's probably ahead, but no reason to really attack. 4 hearts on the turn. Durr fires out with his 8s. And Kevin will just get to call comfortably in position here. This should let Big Country, yeah, Big Country, he's out of there. And now heads up to the river, Durr and Kevin. Durr looking to find one of the last 2 8s in the deck and doesn't find it. Shuts it down with a check, and Kevin will just check behind and win with the ace high, or pair ace.
Moving right along. David Pratt pointing out that that is the flop every time you have jacks. It's ace, king, queen.
You're like,
Womp,
cool.
womp. Yeah, you just hear the sad trombone in your head immediately.
Chaz putting the 50 out here again. Oh no, he says no, 50 is not enough. Let's go 100.
Well, yeah, I mean, 50 didn't work last time, so
Makes sense.
you have to make it. Those are the only options.
Yeah.
Anyone who was playing with us in Dallas yesterday knows that when I say things like this, I mean it. Like, you know, I'm not just saying shit. I agree. 100, make it 100. 50 didn't work. Let's go.
Science has proven these things.
Got
Durr
a
here.
min click.
Yeah. Clicks it to 200. Chaz, the only caller. That's one way to isolate, is to make the straddle so large that half the field doesn't even really want to play for the straddle amount. And then you just kind of get to play out of position, but generally for a smaller number of opponents. Durr C bets for 3/4 and wins. Interesting bet size there. Ace-9 tray, rainbow. Like, that's just so your board and goes 3/4 instead of small. Sometimes, I mean, bet size
Was it
is so
3/4?
important.
Oh, yeah, it was 400 in the pot, right?
Yeah. Bet size is so important. There are always times, I think, where you can utilize your opponent's bet size to guide your decision making.
Absolutely.
Like,
yeah.
there was a time in the meetup game yesterday, for example, and this happens regularly, where there's a board that comes out that is just like always your opponent just like crushes this board and is going to just bet small if they have it, and then like they just like bet pot at you, and you're like, you would never do that if you actually had this,
Right.
because like, you know, like, I know that you know that whatever, right? You can go back and forth down that logic train, and it's like, now you're actually trying to get me to fold. You hit him with like the min click check raise,
Right.
and then they fold.
I
and
think
you're
I
like,
got
yeah.
one through like that yesterday, actually. And it was like, you know, just barely more than a min click, and it worked, and I didn't anything. So
Yeah. No, I got mine through with Jack
Yeah.
High.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
you know, you just say, yeah. I realize the check raise is very strong, and
That's it, dude.
if you had this board, you just wouldn't bet it like that.
Yeah. Big Daddy Chaz here would bet his ace queen like this, 3-bet to 125. Josh will call from +2, flops a gutter to the wheel. And Chaz here with ace queen on a king high board. This is a perfect spot for him to barrel, barrel, barrel.
Hey, Morty, what are you doing?
First barrel confirmed for 130, and Josh will make the call.
JT in 1968 pointing out that Chaz's sidekick has arrived
Yes,
to the table. So,
it has
in
indeed.
case you were wondering where the Malibu bottle was, it's
Chaz runs out queens on the turn and river, so after picking up showdown value, checks back, or sorry, checks the turn. Josh checks behind, and now trips for Chaz. He's going to go for value. Can expect when Josh checks back on the turn, though, that he's going to have something at best, like maybe a 5, a 4, pocket 6s, 7, something very middling strength. So let's see if he targets those with a middling size. No, he's still going to go big, and it doesn't matter for what Josh is holding, but always sort of curious to see how players attack these spots. Goes full pot there, and really going to extract value from a king or a really sticky opponent that doesn't respect the bet check bet line with something as middling as a 5 or pocket 6 or something like that. Doesn't get paid this time, but does win the pot. Chaz here has an admirer of his Malibu bottle next door on 2.0 taking a peek.
Carlo voting that our next meetup game be here in Austin, and I agree. Just because I would rather not drive 3 hours there and 3 hours back. So yeah, I vote Austin.
I second that.
And I think realistically, anyone who's in Dallas is going to vote Dallas, and we're probably going to get outvoted. But
That's okay.
it is what it is.
Did you have any weather on your way back?
No,
last night?
I timed it perfectly. It started raining about 15 minutes after I got home.
Nice.
Yeah.
I drove through a torrential downpour.
Yeah, I'm actually
in
really
between.
glad I decided to drive back last night.
Yeah. I drove past 2 massive wrecks. One was a 4-car, and the other one was 2, maybe 3. It may have just been someone that saw it and pulled off. Couldn't actually see if they had damage to their vehicle, but
Yeah.
nasty, accordioned up vehicles.
Did you have flashbacks? Did you have like a...
I did. I definitely did. Of Little Roscoe.
I would have too,
and
yeah.
his untimely demise
Yeah.
in a big rainstorm last year.
Yeah, the roads were dry the whole way, and I went through some light rain for about a mile of the drive. So, and that was it the whole way. So it was very good timing on my part.
On 2.0, going to raise with a whole lot of nothing here. 9, 8 of clubs on 6% equity. Sorry, 9 of spades, 8 of clubs on 6% equity. Bricks out is drawing dead, and Durr going to turn 2 pair. So if On continues blasting here, Durr will have no problem continuing. And this is just pure 2.0, what are you going to do when I hit you with these
Yeah, that ain't it.
raises and bets? And Durr has responded with call, and let's see if On 2.0 shuts it down. 7 of clubs on the end. Your hand is really, really bad to be bluffing with, but On seemingly doesn't care and is going to keep foot fully on the gas pedal. Fires again, and I mean, yeah, you can see the look on Durr's face. He's like, what can you have here? I mean, he has a bluff catcher with top and effectively bottom pair here, but this is a raise, continue for small, and now a big 1.5K bet, almost full pot on the river. All of the draws missed. This is like a set of deuces.
Yeah, I mean, but I can't imagine he can fold here, right?
No, 100% no. Durr is just trying to figure out what he loses to And if his opponent ever does this with a worse hand, right? Like if his opponent somehow had like Jack 4 of diamonds or something, right? It's like, can I raise for value here and get called by worse?
Poker Monkey, I said at the beginning of this, it was well worth the drive. I just obviously vote to not make the drive.
Durr makes the call, doesn't opt for a raise. I'm not sure if he was necessarily contemplating it, but I think, you know, sort of very close to like, does my opponent ever have a worse hand that I can get value from with a jam? Does settle on the call, wins
And
nonetheless.
I think the call. I think that's what I in that position. I think I'm also calling there. I don't think I'm ever.
Yeah. I mean, there's always value to be gained in marginal spots. It's sort of the differentiator between sort of like good players and great players is that they'll find the spots to
Like
get
I
that
guess
little bit of
on
additional
could
value.
be calling with a different, like what 2 pair
Like Jack 4 suited or something, right?
or 2
We
4.
we
or,
know that
yeah,
On
yeah.
can be in here with
and
some
and
pretty
On
wild
definitely is someone who could be in there with something like Jack 4 or Deuce 4. But if he just happens to have a set of deuces, then that sucks, I guess.
holding. Yeah. No, I
And
mean,
the
I don't think
difference,
there's a lot
like
of
I don't think,
analysis there.
yeah, I don't know. I just call there if it's me in that spot. I don't think I ever raise.
No, I think I would have just called as well.
Yeah.
But it is just worth
Because even if he
mentioning.
just has like King Jack, like you're getting called
Yeah.
if you raise there.
It would certainly be
Alright.
thin to raise
Yeah.
with the King 4 there. It would be very
Yeah.
thin. That was the point I was trying to make. I guess.
Absolutely.
On 2.0 and his opponent, Big Country, both going to flop a flush draw and the only pair that they contain in their hand. Check on the flop. No improvement for either player on the turn. 10s are best. But Big Country is going to, fire
We still
out?
got Josh in this pot.
Ooh. And Josh
He's
has
got
the
the
nut
nut.
spade.
Yeah. And River is a 10, giving On a set.
If you were ever worried about your hand winning at Showdown, this is a good river. That's for sure. And Josh with like the best bluffing hand combination that he could ever have.
Absolutely.
King of spades
Yeah.
with a 9.
He's gonna get caught though.
Yeah.
And realistically, I think a different opponent holding
He
that
got
set
raised,
there.
by
Oh,
the
he got
way.
raised. He let it go. Okay. I think some opponents holding that set there are just going to say, I lose to way too many things, and are actually going to let that go. I mean, you're going to have to find the right, very tight opponent who is,
In a 1-2 game.
yeah. But On, never in his life folding to the fact. Like, I mean, if Josh has a flush, or if he has a straight, or whatever, yeah, you're just getting paid. But On, not even going to just make him show his hand with King High. He says, no, I'm not.
Yeah, I'm getting some
I have
value out
three
of
of a
these two
kind.
pairs.
Let's
Come
go.
on, give it to me. What do you say we gamble again?
Sure.
I won the last one. I'm going to go first.
Okay. Good luck.
To you as well.
Oh, gross.
Ooh.
No.
I like it.
They're going to play the 7 deuce for the love of the game, as far as I understand, which he is known to do regularly with no bounty on, and he gets it through, and he's going to show it.
No bounties coming across the table at him, but he still gets to revel in the glory of getting it through. 7 Dewey.
All right. Aaron is just going to get paid here because there's no way. No way. I roll better than a 92.
Let's hope that's right.
I'm going to roll like a 6. Oh, there you go. Yep, there you go. Take your money.
You got the 5 out of your system.
Wow. And then the next one's a 96.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, it is Kristen.
Padawan Kristen.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. You guys were like milliseconds away from having opposite roles. Oh, thank you, Kristen. No, thank you for just
Yeah,
getting
I know.
it. Just
If I had
you,
waited
you hit the enter button
6
correctly this
seconds
time.
more. Yeah, if I just missed the button this time.
You could have misclicked again.
All right. Dave, what are you going to do? Has Dave played a hand yet?
Yeah, he's played a few, mostly as limps and calls, and
Standard
then
Dave.
hasn't really. He won with the nines, where he flatted the nines
Oh,
early,
yeah,
and then we
zero
got to
called the
showdown
whole
on
way down. Yeah, just
King Jack 10 board
yeah.
or something.
Yeah. Rena won with 7 deuce yesterday. Did they have a bounty on at their table, or was that just our table? I don't know. We had the bounty on. I literally never got it the whole day, which I think I'm okay with. It was a $10 bounty, so I'm not that upset about not getting the $80 from the table.
Yeah.
And that just means I had better hands than 7 deuce, so I will take it.
I paid out the 7 deuce bounty to Cooper twice and someone else once, so I lost 30 on it. And then I also lost 150 because
Yeah,
I got 7 deuce, tried to 3-bet, and then saw a flat and a back jam.
Yeah.
And I was up against ace king and pocket queens, and so I had to cut and run at 150. Thankfully. Thankfully, the guy that backjammed did what he did, because I was like, I'm about ready to freaking just 4-bet this or 5-bet this all the way in. Yeah. All right, we are heads up on this board. Big country with the best hand, 8s and 6s at the moment. 3 clubs on the end, not going to do anything, and Durr will presumably just be shutting her down with the old jack high. Could come out firing here, I suppose. Tough to
Stranger
rep
things
anything.
have happened.
Really tough to rep anything here, though, let's be honest. He's going to go for it anyways.
Yeah, why not?
Should be an easy call for Big Country.
It is. And he's going to mug it without showing it. Yeah, the bounty got paid out a few times. Cooper got paid, what, twice while he was there in like 45 minutes. So,
Yeah, he like played his third hand 7 deuce or something.
Yeah, and I mean,
And
I
then
think
got it
he
again.
definitely had it twice. Got paid on it both times.
Yeah.
Hats off to Cooper.
Yeah.
Again, I never had it. I couldn't even try.
Nothing to be
I had
done.
a lot of 7s, a lot of deuces, never at the same time.
Some kangs. Had some kangs.
Had some kangs. Had some other things. I don't even remember. I mean, the king's hand is probably, standing out in your memory.
A little bit.
Just because it was literally the last hand we played.
And you
Before getting. And I actually, to be fair,
Standard
I was gonna leave one hand earlier, and you were
wish
like,
you
"No, we
had.
got like 15 minutes."
I wish you had. I just got stacked for like another 900 there.
And
after
I was like,
already
"Okay,
buried.
well, I'm not gonna put the double straddle on because it's gonna be my last hand." And I like you guys, but I don't really want to just donate an extra $20 to this pot, so I don't put the double straddle on. So when I wake up with 2 black kings, I just limped.
You got me. I had ace queen off.
Yeah.
On here has Durr pipped. Gonna just make the call. Big Daddy Chaz in there with the 9 triz, half heart variety. And he's up against some big Broadway cards. So let's see if he can find something here. That doesn't look favorable to the 9 triz. Not gonna lie.
I see
Durr
a
here
10,
actually.
I see an 8 and an ace.
Yeah, I think Durr has put on in a pretty tough spot because on usually doesn't slow down in spots like this. Checks all the way through though. Oh, it's a monotone flop. Okay.
That makes sense.
But now the cannons should start ablazing. On comes out firing 450 for just about half pot. Durr with top 2 pairs still. Gonna play this as a call in position. On needed a jack, gets a queen. That's not going to do it. And he's probably still going to keep going for value. 1.7K in the middle. Let's see. Half pot size bet here, maybe?
I see 11-ish. No, I was wrong.
Yeah, 975. Pretty much bang on half pot.
It's not easier.
No, that's 2/3. I apologize. 2/3. And Durr, once again, just in a spot where it's like, yeah, maybe I could raise, but like I just can't. I call. I win. And Durr, once again, with the superior holdings, and he'll drag another pot and move up to 7.9K, getting himself back into the, very top of the leaderboard here for the chip counts, right above Optimize and Big Daddy Chaz. Dave and Josh holding things down at the bottom of the charts there, 1.9K. How are the Celtics doing?
Sorry, guys. I was paying too much attention to what I'm, I guess, supposed to be doing. And I lost track of basketball.
Crazy talk.
The score is 90-84. 6-point lead for the Celtics.
All right, still
Yeah.
hold on.
Fourth
to the,
quarter, 10
to
minutes
the
to
lead.
go-ish.
10 minutes to go. Is that what
10
you said?
minutes, yeah.
Okay. All right. Big
Yeah,
Daddy
I
Chaz.
mean, I will be. I will not be surprised if the Celtics win this in the sweep. So, pleased, not surprised.
Pleasantly surprised. Pleasantly unsurprised. Perhaps.
Yeah, what you said.
Words are awesome and hearts. Josh will raise to 200. The ace-6 of diamonds. This is over the $100 straddle from Big Daddy Chaz, who snap calls after everybody else gets out of the way. Chaz on the queen-7 offsuit, the old
9
computer hand.
of diamonds, 8 of spades. And?
Oh, I was like, I didn't
Aaron's
know
like-
what was happening. I
Aaron's
thought you were
looking
looking at
around.
a
Okay.
Texas card mouse over in the corner.
So Chaz is open-ended to the dummy end of the straight.
No, because he has the gutty.
Oh
to
yeah,
the
he's got a
corner
gutty to the
straight.
nutty.
He's in
Never
pretty
mind, he's
shape.
good. Yeah, 6 comes. He's got the straight to the 10. Jack is in the nuts. He's just gonna rip it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, Josh doesn't have
Okay.
that many chips, so this
Oh,
is a
true story. Yeah.
this is a big raise, and yet at the same time, Josh is on a bad gutty and backdoor diamonds with just ace highs. So like he beats nothing other than like some sort of weird like Jack X of hearts or spades or something like that. I mean, he's going to mull this one over because it's kind of like, wait, what on earth are you doing this with? He is ahead. I mean, this would be a truly amazing call off, but there's no chance. And he does let it go after some thought, and Chaz will take it down. Moves up plus 420 on the hand.
But that hair, man. Why has he been hiding it under a hat for so long?
I don't know.
Maybe it just grew out. Maybe it wasn't. It didn't look like that before.
Do you think there's too much hair that the cap is uncomfortable?
Oh, maybe.
Could be, right?
It's too much, and now it just doesn't fit at all.
He's like, he was wearing it, and he's like, just got to unleash the fury, Mitch.
Well, I mean, that's the struggle when you have fitted caps, is that when your hair exceeds the cap
Capacity.
capacity, then, I mean, you just have to take it off. You don't have another choice.
Yeah, no, that's rational, reasonable. The $200 straddle, 5-5-200 here for Big Daddy Chaz.
Optimize, just letting go of 10-9 suited.
Well, this is what the straddles
Yeah.
do to games like this is, well, even most games, because everybody's stack has diminished from like a lot of blinds to barely any blinds.
Sure.
Like Kevin here on a $200 blind, if you want to think of it that way, on 3.4K, the dude's playing like 17 blinds. I mean, that's crazy. So he opens to 3x. And Chaz actually with a real hand here.
Yeah, but
I mean,
unfortunately,
he might just pile this.
Yeah.
I think he's going to call. Calling is definitely the better move, and he will opt on that. Yeah, I mean, that's certainly the better move.
I think he knows Kevin. It's unlikely that Kevin's opening super light there. Kevin had flopping top pair with the ace of clubs also. 2 clubs on board.
I would love to see Kevin check this back. I think it's a pretty standard c-bet small, but I'd love to see him check it back. Just, you know.
I mean, he's. Yeah, I think a check back there is gold,
Yeah.
for sure.
1/4 pot is also like the standard because like if you ever
But
did
that just screams I have an ace and it's probably the ace of clubs. Like, what are you gonna do?
and yet at the same time, what does he do if he has like queen jack of spades there? Checks to him, c-bet 1/4, hope to get it through, got it through, and be pumped, right? Like at the same time, I totally respect what he did there, but you know, sometimes you got to get a little tricky trappy.
Well, like I said, that's why I like the check.
Yeah, no, me too.
Yeah.
But if he
Alas.
had, the
Check,
queen
he did
jack,
not.
whatever, and just bet 301, that would also be great. So you know, it's all good.
Which is exactly what would have happened if he had that hand. So that's very true.
All of these things could have been, but none of them were because he had the ace jack and won. All right, let's go ahead and peep the like counter. Mine's frozen at 10. It's permanently frozen. Every time I look at my stupid like counter on my tablet, it is frozen at whatever number
88.
I hit the like button at.
That's silly.
It is silly. But it also lets me know where I
Let's
was
get
in the
that
queue.
up and going. Let's get to the 200 before the end of the stream. We still
You
have
want to?
2
You're gonna
hours.
get it up. All right.
2 hours. We need 112
More likes or 112 total?
more.
Oh, okay. I was like 112, oddly specific.
Yeah. We just decided that 112 was the number for the day, which is, I mean, whatever.
This is what I want.
We
112.
have 6 players.
Let's go.
And we are going to go to a flop. I have no recollection of what anyone has. On flops, a gutter to a wheel. And from what I can tell, that's also the best hand somehow. Yeah, ace high is also good.
Still good.
Yeah, Kevin's cards are not scanned, so he could have a better hand, but
Still checking, so I don't think Kevin has a better hand. King on the river. That's going to give Josh kings and 4s with the queen on board. And he should bet for value. I'd like to see him just bet small.
$100.
Less than half pot. Anything in that department is good. If
No idea
somebody
what
did
Kevin
happen to have
has.
a
Yeah, if Kevin has a shitty queen,
shitty queen would have bet by now,
Yeah, I
but
guess.
certainly an ace high, like actually an ace high, any ace
nah,
could
let it go.
reasonably think about a call, but nobody does, of course. When it's that multi-way, it would only be like if it folded to the last person and they had ace high, they'd be like, maybe I defend. Because everybody pointed at me and said, you're the guy that has to defend. It's really interesting when it comes to multi-way pots. Like, one of the central themes to the game theory of poker is minimum defense frequency. Basically, to summarize it, it's like if I am the aggressor, the defender, my opponent, or opponents, plural, have to put up a certain amount of resistance in order to prevent me from just printing money, right? Like, if I just always bet, like, a min bet, and all of my opponents just, like, fold, like, I've just printed so much money by getting that through. There's some small percentage of the time that they just have to call. Somebody has to call, or maybe not even a small percentage, but a large percentage of somebody has to call to prevent me from making that money, basically for free. And in these like multi-way pots where it's like 3, 4, even 5 players, that defense frequency gets distributed amongst all of the players.
Right.
And it's sort of weighted to the last player in line too, because the person up front can just punt their responsibility and be like, well, if I fold, one of these other motherfuckers
Yeah, absolutely.
has to do the calling. It's very interesting, and that's why poker hasn't been solved to any degree of accuracy in multi-way spots. We have a lot of solves for heads-up pots in different scenarios with different sort of stack sizes and positions at the table, but the multi-way pots, yeah, definitely going to take a lot longer for people to solve, and going to be very nearly impossible for people to commit to memory and be actionable.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a question about the Malibu bottle. You must have been gone for like a while because that bottle's been in play for like, I don't know, weeks and weeks.
Months at this point, really.
Yeah, it's just Chaz's sidekick.
Kim has joined us.
Who?
Kim. I'm seeing Kim at the bottom of the leaderboard.
All
here.
right, welcome, Kim.
Is this so?
Ah.
JC.
He left a while ago.
JC took
He got
off.
stacked and he called it a night.
Gotcha. All right. So Kim has joined us, sitting on just 1.2K and already down big.
That's not right. We must.
Oh, just swapped in for the other, for JC, I guess. Okay. Mel.
Wow, just throwing Mel under the bus. I didn't even ask Kristen or say anything to her. I just looked at her, and she just immediately threw Mel under the bus. Was like, Mel did it.
Standard.
I didn't. It wasn't me.
That's standard,
Yeah,
right?
it's standard.
Anyways, do have a new player. Welcome to the game, Kim. And we also have a new dealer to the game. So welcome, whoever this is.
Ryan, I think.
Is it Ryan?
Ah, Andy Brown.
Oh, Andy Brown. One of my favorites. All right.
So TCH OG.
Oh,
Gary C. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Nice to see you in the chat. Please be nice.
And responsible. Ace, King, 6. Rainbow flop. Everybody taking a peek here. Ah, very good. I know Kim. Quite well.
As do I. He's funny. I like him.
Great guy.
I like him.
I like him a lot. So let's see who has anything at this point. Josh here, top 2. Josh has top 2. Bets 135. Gets called by Big Country alone. And, ooh, King's full now on the turn. Checky indeed. 4 of clubs now on the end. And Josh should be going for value now. Let's see if he pots this. No, it's something less than that. And Big Country was on top and bottom pair. Sort of got counterfeit by the
Yeah.
King pairing. Which is actually good for him.
Yeah, he can
250
get
is
away
bet.
from it. Yeah. Woo. Easy. Easy fold there.
Snap ditch.
Yeah, he's then playing aces and kings with a 10. It's no good.
Looking at the chip counts there, Durr still up at the top, 7.9K. Aggression frequency, Josh and Chaz leading the way in that department.
Z Frankenbird saying he's been watching TCH Dallas mostly. That's not cheating on us at all, actually. That is just, like, imagine if TCH Live is a person, they have multiple personalities. But, you know.
Yeah, multiple personalities is
not
exactly how we roll.
Yeah.
And it's sort of, I just had a memory throwback. Words are hard. To
A memory throwback? You mean a flashback?
yeah.
Is that what we're trying to get at?
Yeah.
Okay.
Flashback
Sure.
to Multiplicity. You remember that movie? Where he clones himself like a bunch of
know.
times, and then of course there's one wife to the original guy.
Yeah.
And so he like forbids any of the clones from fooling around with his wife, but like of course they all do. And that was just sort of what came to mind, is that we're all TCH Live, but you know, you can, you know, hang out with whichever one of us you want.
It's all good.
All of us, maybe, whatever. We want
Yeah.
to play.
If you had shown up yesterday at
days
TCH Dallas 2 days ago. That was yesterday.
Oh, I thought you were
That was
talking about
yesterday.
TCH Live. Sorry.
No. To the mug, you could have been there in person with Dallas and Austin at the same time.
What did we have? We had
4 full tables.
but 4 commentators at one table, right? Plus Cooper on production.
So we had,
We had
me,
Derek, we had
you, Ben. We had Ben Miney, Ben Kirby.
Well, Kirby was up at the other table, but sure. He was there.
Well, and Ben Miney wasn't at our table to start. Like, we were all spread out at the beginning.
Yeah, but at the end, right, there were 4 commentators, 1 producer, like, at our table. That was
Yes.
pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, yeah. We were basically just playing against each other. It was fun.
And you won.
I did. I won.
Dave here has the best hand with middle pair, top kicker, and backdoor diamonds. I come in for a 1/3 sizing. And that
Yep.
gets called by Chaz? Or did
Yes.
Chaz bet Dave called? I apologize.
Yeah.
And now that Dave has turned the nut diamond draw,
And has a pair.
I don't suspect he will be doing any folding. Checks it over to Chaz, and Chaz picked up equity here. I think he goes all in here. SPR is just a little bit over 1. Chaz is like, I have equity, but like, I need max fold equity here. Yeah, he's all in. And Dave hates this, and I think Dave should be calling, but I'm gonna say that he folds.
I know.
We can see the cards. I know that when I say he should be calling, it's like second
I mean, in
pair,
my
diamond
head,
draw,
in my mind, I'm
whatever.
like, man, I would have ripped it if I was Dave, though. I never get in this spot where like I have to call a bet, you know? Because if I'm Dave, I've already put all my chips in the middle, and Chaz is folded, and
Yeah.
we move on with our lives. Because even if Chaz has a king, even if he's got a set of kings, I'm like, I'm never dead. Let's go.
Well, if Big Daddy Chaz turned over a set of kings, you would at least be able to do the math and ask yourself whether or not it was correct to call or what. But like, if he does have a king, just a single king, you have all the diamonds,
All
you
the
have
sevens,
2 sevens,
You have the
and 3
aces.
right?
You have, yeah.
So there's a lot of opportunities for you to improve. Still do the math and ask yourself, is an SPR of
Well, as a
like
but
point-
this you're thinking
no,
as a call. I
1.3.
mean, I'm thinking that this wouldn't be a call for me because I would have already.
Well, you wouldn't have jammed the flop. Wait, you were going to donk jam the turn? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine. I was just curious because I just don't think anybody, not even you, would have done anything crazy with second pair on the
Who
flop.
I
Who knows?
might.
Carolyn just sort of blinked and looked to the side and was like, who knows?
I don't know. Stranger things have happened.
They have. They definitely have.
Sometimes you just feel that backdoor. I feel like that got weird already. I'm gonna just shut it down.
Yeah, shut down the back door. All right, you're right. I am gonna channel some bravery, some courage into 15 minutes ago Dave, and hope that he puts the chips in the middle, sending him the good vibes. To see if
He hates
can
this
commit
so
to this.
much, but
These spots become easier to navigate the further along in our poker career we go, but there are plenty of times that I've been in uncomfortable spots like this and have been like really on the edge and have not known if I should do it or not. And it's not until you get used to calling off in a spot like this and being like, oh, dude, I had 94% equity
Yeah.
here, won, also was fine
look at
against
his
the king,
poor
right? Like,
face. I feel bad for like the pain that he's going through.
let's
Yay,
go,
good
Dave.
call.
15 minutes ago, Dave. And he is
Chaz
all
is
in.
like, man, I need a 4, an offsuit 4.
Oh my God, no way. No way. Dave, you made the right call. You did the right thing. You should be proud of yourself.
Yeah, you're
You
supposed to win
just
that.
got
You win that
wrecked.
94% of the time.
You just got completely wrecked by one of the very few cards in the deck that could hurt you.
Yep, there was 3
Oh
cards.
my gosh.
3 cards in the deck.
How the hand was going to play out. But with him winning, right?
Good call, though, Dave. Look back on this and be proud of yourself. Be, and put this as a data point in the collection of like, these are perfectly fine spots to put all of your chips in because you were way ahead, and you could have been in there with like plenty of equity against a hand that was ahead of you as well. Like, that was a good spot to put your chips in.
Yeah, no, I think the bottom line is like, he should feel good about calling there. It sucks, but
No, it's the grossest river.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Just-
obviously also props to Chaz for just like putting his foot on the gas, max pressure, has equity, drills
Yeah,
it.
I mean, it's
but like, you know, also just gross
it's always.
as hell.
I mean, from Chaz's perspective, like you recognize that like you don't want to call there ever, 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 but if he calls, at least you know you have 3 outs. You're like, well, not what I wanted, but I guess give me a 4.
Yeah, let's give it the old try. Yeah, bink. Dave, though, going to reload. He's going to come back in with 2.1K and try again. I believe he won't be trying to do any magic with this hand.
All right, Aaron, I'm going to leave you for 5 minutes. I shall return.
Heard it here first. Carolyn shall return. All right, a lot of low cards here. Josh, though, waking up with something tangible, real, functional. Very feng shui as well. Ace, jack of spades. 3 bets to 225 over the open from Chaz. Chaz sort of riding high here. He's like, yeah, I just won with a gutty. 7-3 suited feels pretty good. He raises bets. What is that, 300 here from Josh? Yeah, 300 and quick fold from Chaz. As you do most of the time. 7-3 suited doesn't play very good.
Or not knowing what you have to. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, though, but it gives them more outs knowing.
Ragnar here, giving a shout out to Dave for
Every other card.
getting his rebuy on right away. Yeah,
A lot of outs. Knowing that.
absolutely. Tough to suffer a beat like that, but to you know, just reach right back into the pocket and pull out a rebuy. Props indeed.
I think he was playing the player.
6-fold, 7-fold, 9-fold.
I've been bluffing a lot this year.
Squirroo, Donnie, JMT, Frank, all rolling good. Richard Pucci, though, unfortunately, rolling just a 9. Skull getting an 80 in there. Nice. Everybody hitting good. Oh, Carlo. Carlo lost 100 points, but big country here with a couple of J wins, couple of Judys.
Straddling for 200 and shit, you know.
King high board.
5-bet 125.
Pete gonna go ahead and continue. Looks like 200 into 320, and unless Durr has some piece of this on the button, he is gonna be man in the middle. It looks like he's out of the. No, he must have called because Big Country is not mucking his cards. So this was a raise actually.
He went 125.
Out of Durr. Let's see. Action tracking getting caught up here. Bet a 125. Some sort of things happened. I don't believe that this was actually a bet of 125 and a call. I think this was a bet raise call. So bear with us. Not exactly sure where we are, but I think the pot is a little bit bigger than it is. Big Country here. Checks it over. Bet of 500, if I'm not mistaken, out of Durr. And 2 red jacks is pretty tough to continue here. It's bet of 400. Now, not having a club or a spade is actually really good for you if you're going to buckle in and sort of bluff catch. It's, you know, from a solver perspective, I think your hand is a must continue. But he's going to let it go. We won't know if Durr just got away with something there, if he actually had, you know, top pair plus something of that nature was going for max value. But as it stands, he does win the pot nonetheless. And given the way that Durr's been playing, I'm going to give him credit for a bluff there. But also just kind of tough to hang on if you're Pete as well.
I had pocket pair. Really high. Didn't want to see a king come out. plus an ace. It's
Dave here, adding a little bit more ammo to the magazine.
I didn't look. Can I still straddle?
Plenty of big stacks here on the table this evening. 5-5, playing pretty big here. Generally speaking, the 2-5 game already plays pretty big, but I do love to see that we're getting a true bridge between 2-5 and 5-10. The 5-10 uncapped tends to play really big. It's a little bit more daunting to some of the players in the player pool that are kind of at the 2-5 level or maybe happy to play a little bit larger, but the 5-10 uncapped against some of the sharks that are playing at that level is just maybe a little bit too intimidating. This 5-5 is great.
5-5 is great. What it really plays like is it's like a 2-5 game that's been running all day.
Yeah.
Because our 2-5 plays essentially like this when it's been running for like 3-4 hours. But when we start the 2-5 game here on the stream, we started as a new game, so it's a 1K cap, so it plays smaller. This is what you see at a 2-5 game here at Texas Card House that's been running for, a while.
But let's be fair, it's also, bigger than even that. Like we definitely are seeing some pretty good stacks, but like
Sure.
very rarely does somebody have 9K, and we have several players that are up at that level. So but I'm of the mind that this is like a really good bridge between the two games.
Absolutely.
Because I think there's a lot of us that play the 2-5 where, as you say, it gets very big after we've been playing for a little while, and we're comfortable in those streets, but yet the 5-10 uncapped is just maybe a little bit big. So.
Right. And I will say, like, for me personally, I much prefer to get into the 2-5 at the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Play
when
small,
you-
see if you can spin it up, right?
so, yeah.
All right, on 2.0 is going to turn top pair to go with his up and downer. Big Daddy Chaz is the aggressor. As of the flop, was just one of the callers, along with on 2.0. The only players left standing, though. On 2.0 checks it over. Big Daddy Chaz looking to continue. 1.6K in the middle, and on 2.0 is the effective stack, and he's going to back jam.
Oh.
Ooh, snap call as
Jack
well.
10?
Chaz,
Oh, set of nines.
set of nines is going to be good.
Yeah.
9 of hearts.
I don't think he was worried when he got snap called there. And on doing how on do,
Oh, I have the pink. I forgot.
running real good.
Getting stacked.
Yeah. It's a thing that I've seen him do before.
Yeah. And he's going to give one last
Which
point
is,
at
you
Big
know
Daddy
what? Hey,
Chaz.
it's great for the game. Let me tell you, because
No,
you know when somebody just runs real good and builds up this huge stack and sits at the table, but their chips are on lockdown. That's no fun. That's never the case with on.
Never the case with
Never.
On. Yeah, so BDC, the recipient of On's chips, that's going to move him into pole position. They're up 4.1 thousand, and he might need to do a color up here. Big Daddy
Or
Chaz is
just
pretty-
build the Green Mountain.
He is a big fan of the gargantuan piles of chips that are just everywhere. So he may just stick with that strategy. But I usually color.
You are a
those
big
things
fan
up
of
pretty
the efficient chip stack,
Mm-hmm.
and I agree with that personally.
Well,
Although,
outs you have even against
sometimes it's kind of fun to just have all the chips in front of you.
To have a forest, yeah. You
Yeah.
kind of have to reach over it like you're giving a bear hug to something just to look at your cards.
And it depends. It also depends on the table and the stakes, and like, are there people who are gonna be rebuying and need change for their black chips that they're getting from the table and things like that. So sometimes you can just hang on to the smaller denomination chips to make change at the table. This table is not going to be that situation.
Yeah, not suffering from that in the least. Josh here giving him the business. Raised to 250 on the button. King 7 off. Kevin just ditches the king queen suited from the small blind. I understand this is a $100 straddle, and so you're looking at playing a really big
Chaz
pot out of
just
position.
rips it with sixes. And if Josh knew how, oh, he's gonna call. All right, let's go.
What's up to you?
Wow, I'm definitely surprised that he just snap calls.
What'd you say you wanted to
I
do
mean,
again?
it's a flip.
Yeah, 2. Yeah.
Maybe maybe that's a misread.
No, I think he's got king 7. I think that's real. Josh is here to gamble. He didn't start with very much. It's a $100 blind. He knows that he doesn't have very many blinds at that level.
Sure.
Yeah, this seems standard. I mean, okay, like Kevin is looking at playing for all of his chips with king high. I get folding there. It's a little bit, tough. But I would have liked to have seen him go for the 3-bet.
Chaz is like, wow, I'm in way better shape than I thought when you snap called me.
This is effectively the same as ace king.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a flip.
Oh, king on the turn. No 6 on the river.
Oh, they're running it twice?
Running it twice. 2 full boards. Okay. So Josh has his chips locked up. Needs to find a king or a 7.
Nope.
Doesn't do it. So he only locks up his own chips, and then they will chop the little tasty morsels in the middle.
The whopping, what? $10, $20, $120?
$10 a piece.
Congratulations to them both.
So I've become a pretty much
Run it once,
standard run it once guy now. Used to run it twice a lot. Now I feel like draw nuts doesn't matter. Like I'm just running it once. So how do you feel about that? Where are you at?
So I am a let the other player choose 100% of the time, and if they say, "Oh, it's up to you," then my standard response depends almost entirely on how much cash I have.
If you don't have a good rebuy wad,
then
then
I'll
you're
run
gonna
it
go
twice, yeah.
twice or something. Okay. Gotcha.
So, but mine, and I think a lot of it comes just from the fact that,
I was thinking about shoving blinds.
like, as a dealer, I don't ever want to be like, nope, I don't want to give you two. Like, I still have to
Oh, for sure. Then it would have been easy.
deal cards to these players.
I see. So you don't want to be a party pooper.
Right.
Okay.
So if they
okay.
really want to run it twice, I'm never going to say no. Never.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. Yeah, I haven't run into a spot too frequently since I've become a run it once guy where someone has like begged to run it twice and I've turned them down. I haven't really had that, but and I don't know, beg is a strong word. That's not what I mean. But like someone that was very emphatic about running it twice.
Well, it
Usually
doesn't
they're
matter.
like,
They don't get,
do you want to
like-
run it twice? And I'm like, yeah, one time. And they're kind of
Right,
okay
and
with
then
it.
the dealer should immediately just rip the board and drop the stuff. Like there shouldn't
Sure,
even
sure.
be any question. As soon as you say once, that's it.
Yeah,
Once
no,
is
no,
once is
and
the
that's
way
fair.
it goes.
That's fair. But I mean, there's a lot of the players in the community too that I'm, pretty friendly with, and if somebody really wanted to run it twice, I think I would be pretty open to that. Even now that I'm a changed man.
Yeah, and that's why I always just let them choose because like there's so many times when I've been, way ahead and said run it once and been like, well, that sucks. Okay. Or the opposite, way behind and get there.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be the person to ruin someone else's day or my own day.
Yeah.
So I'm
I
just going to
ruined
let
my
them
day.
do it to themselves. If they want to run it once, cool. That's fine. If
I
I get
ruined-
there, your problem.
Ruined my day against you on that last hand up in Dallas because I was stuck and I was like, run it once. I'm either getting there
Well,
or
you
not.
You should, though.
Yeah.
In that spot, 100% of the time, you should just run it once because if you run it twice, best case scenario, I mean, I guess best case scenario 100 is obviously you scoop, but chances of that happening are not great.
Yeah, big hand here developing.
This
as-
is similar to the hand that we had yesterday, last hand of the night in Dallas.
Yeah, Big Daddy Chaz, 2 red kings facing
Yeah,
an open
just
to
with
60.
all the chips and has been raising big with all the hands.
This is
So.
a very chunky 3-bet as well.
Rip it, Josh. You just did it with King 7
No,
off.
Josh is
gonna
just going to
call.
call. I think this is pretty standard. He ace, queen, ace, jack. I think he's piling it, but this is gonna bring big country in with whatever his holdings are. Three ways here. BDC, man in the middle with the betting lead and a couple of kings.
Ooh,
Not
what?
the
Gutter
greatest
to the
flop.
straight flush for Josh. Big country checked in the dark.
There is a good chance that big country has hit this board as well. Because he
Absolutely.
called and then called again. Chaz is going to bet 575. Quick jam from Josh. And oh, big
Chaz
country's
can't.
already done.
Yeah,
so
yeah, he's already
Chaz is calling. There's no two ways about this. And now they're talking about once or twice. One time. Here we go.
Oh, yeah, he
One
already called.
time for Josh to find a club or a 10. No, jack no good.
Yeah.
And BDC
I mean,
gonna
and it's.
drag another big
I
pot.
mean, Chaz is ahead there, and you know, in reality and equity wise, but equity wise, like not by enough that
Surprisingly, no.
you can ever look at like Josh's hand and be like, oh my God, why would he? No.
Stop talking about.
Also, Chaz has been opening all the hands and bluffing a lot, and of course you're just gonna rip it there if you're Josh.
Yeah, there's no way around getting all of your chips in there
Yeah.
as Josh. That is for sure.
And
All right.
Chaz adding to his mountain.
Indeed, that is one hell of a mountain. All right, it is my turn to step out for a moment. I'll be back, and then it's time for us to gamble
Yeah, let's
again. I
go.
do believe so. Hang tight with Carolyn. I'll be back in a moment.
They went all in. Yeah, I had pocket threes. I know there was a 3 out there. Thank you.
Tell Melody that she is welcome. I will never stand for you throwing her under the bus like that without at least giving you shit. All right. So as Chaz continues to build the mountain, build a pyramid in front of him, we will continue. It looks like we've already folded all the way around to the big blind versus straddle. King 8 off versus 7-5 suited. Call and a check.
Me? Yeah. You know me, dude.
King 8 still good. Nobody has anything except a
That's why I like
gutter.
to gamble, because then it doesn't hurt when you lose.
6 pairs on the turn.
Okay, fuck it. I got you covered 3 to 1.
Yeah.
Still good. Rip it.
Wow, Brooklyn gonna get swept, huh?
I can't believe it. 3 0.
And King High is good. Optimize just really bummed that, you know, the pot he
Derek
dragged
White,
was
my guy, dude.
$25 following that, you know, 2, 3, 4 giant pots that just got played.
I wonder what the odds were for the series of Boston sweeping.
I don't know. They've been awesome, though.
That'd have been like 25 or 30 to 1,
What about the beginning of the season?
All right, moving along.
right?
Josh, not one to walk away from a game like this. He is back in these streets. Wake up with King Jack off. And make it 50 to go.
4 calls, 5 calls.
I don't know either. I need to move on the other side.
All right.
You want to switch seats?
Raised to 50?
Yeah.
I would if I didn't have a
10
fucking...
calls.
I know. It'd be a bitch to move.
Dave and Durr coming along.
If you color up.
King 9 suited, Ace 9 off.
How many plackers in this girl?
10 checks.
Nah.
Checks. 4 checks.
Nobody has a pair. 3 hearts on board. Dave has the Ace of Hearts. No one has a pair. Ace High is still good. And the Ace High is good if we get to showdown. I don't know
Yeah.
that we will.
Well, Josh bet the turn. I'm back, by the way. He's going to fire 200 here, and now Let's see if Dave puts on his bluff catching pants. He's got the ace of hearts, which is actually a reasonable raising candidate.
Oh, 15.
He's going to show it.
Yeah, I'm in for 10.
And
I like the
I love this because Josh is like, you don't even have to have another card and you're good, but Josh is like, yeah, ace high was good.
yeah, so Josh will take that one down. All right, it's time to gamble again. And I'll go first once again, as is my right.
Can you ask them
The winner.
Chad wants to know how much he has.
Good luck.
Thank you. Good luck to you as well.
don't know.
I'm going to wait till I see a result this time.
Oh, yeah? You want to see the pain?
Yeah.
And let someone squeak in there and take your 99?
Yeah, whatever. That's fine. 85, man?
Oh, man.
Get the
That's
20 bucks
pretty
out.
good.
So much for Aaron paying for my massage earlier. There's that 40
Wait,
bucks back.
your massage has still been paid for.
Well, I know, but there goes the $40 that was. 32, yeah, that's not good.
Fantastic. All right. It was a massage well spent on my behalf. I got it right back.
Exactly. All
Well,
right.
you free rolled a massage, though.
I did. I mean,
Still.
I'm not mad about it. It was, yeah, no, great. I'm now, like, I'm just going to think of it as that, like, I'm even.
Great massage, too, Alex
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Texas Royal Touch. Fantastic licensed massage therapist here.
Oh, man, I needed it after driving 6 hours yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was sort of not quite white knuckling, but like, you know, definitely like in the torrential downpour on the way
Yeah,
back.
no,
Several
that's-
hours of driving through spots that were like, yeah, a little bit fishy.
Yeah, again, so glad that I decided to drive back last night. Missed 99.9% of all the weather. It was
Three
excellent.
players in here, all with connected Broadway, suited type hands, et cetera, et cetera. Dave, as the pre-flop aggressor, is going to flop top pair, top kicker, and he's got an opponent with top pair as well, so could squeak out some good value here from poor Kevin. Bet a 200, very nearly full pot size bet here.
Floor.
Durr's out of the way, as we can see. Kevin, though, can't concede just yet, so he's going to make the call.
The deck.
Pot going to go up to 800 now. 800 plus. Heads up to the turn 3 of diamonds, no change. Brings in a backdoor flush draw as well.
You have queen jack of clubs?
Dave continues to the tune of 500 here.
Yeah.
Kevin could definitely continue for another street. The 9 kicker not at all inspiring. However, not having a single spade or diamond in hand is, generally speaking, going to be good to continue with in this spot. Certainly from a game theory standpoint, this is a very good bluff catching type hand. Kevin will indeed make the call and is like, please put like a 9 of hearts out there. It's not, it's a deuce of hearts, bringing a one-liner to a straight.
Very standard.
Dave now improves from top pair, top kicker to the wheel. And by improves to, I mean one-liner, so you're likely still going to bet, but probably have to size down a little bit. Could also rep the busted flush draw, but some of those are going to have an ace. Yeah, Kevin's going to get let off the hook here. Had that been an offsuit 8 something, maybe even a small card board pair, right?
Sure.
It could have gotten another street of value out of Kevin, but luckily for him, did see a bad river card, quote unquote, and was able to check fold there at the end.
Got your little ace queen over there?
He's very adamant.
Guairu here says that I refer to driving through flood water as a fishy situation. Yeah. A little fishtailing action. I had a couple of spots where there was like a low point in the road just on the highway. And everybody's going full highway speeds. You know, maybe we're going a little bit slower, like 65 instead of 75, 80. And you get to the bottom of that little ravine or whatever and just feel the whole vehicle just kind of do that little bit of swirly bob. And yeah, it's
Yeah,
not a
that's-
great feeling.
That's not fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the wrecks that I saw were pretty bad too. Like there was one where, so I passed 2 big ones and one that looked like it was sort of a solo adventure, and other people had kind of had to dodge them and then were like there to make sure the dude was okay. But the 2 that were like full blown collisional accidents, it was multiple
Collisional?
cars involved and accordion action. Like the just like the engine was like in the driver
Yeah.
compartment just about. Like somebody probably had some bumps
Yeah.
at least.
Oh, we got a hand here. Dur, 3-bet to 200. Chaz opened with mystery cards. Ace Queen made it 200, and Josh gonna make it 5 with queens. Oh, let's
Chaz
go!
is all in.
Wow.
Dur with he just has to fold to he has to fold so many hands here. Josh is all in though.
Yeah, of course.
But Chaz, let's see. I mean, does Chaz just have it here?
I don't know, man.
Ace Queen is gone, so Josh drawing really thin if he's up against kings or aces. Comes Jack high, 6 here. Safe if he's against just like Ace King, Ace Jack, something like that. But
Chaz could also have like 9s.
plenty of hands that Queens
Like he
is
ripped
beating
it with
here.
6s, so you know.
But now we're frozen.
It's gonna crash.
Oh no, we're getting word that we're crashing.
Oh no.
So we're gonna finish at 5 of diamonds. Do
Do we know what the result of this hand was? Do we know what Chaz had?
Yeah.
Can you?
Chaz has kings.
Chaz has kings.
Chaz just.
So Chaz had kings.
And Josh
Josh gets
has
felted.
decided to call it a night.
Yeah. So once again, we've had this issue for our regular listeners, watchers,
This seems early.
participants.
No, compared to Thursday.
Thursdays? Isn't Thursday usually like, oh, it's late? Okay.
Down 3 times. The first time.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is something that we are working on. We're trying to diagnose the problem.
We thought we had it figured out, though. We updated our drivers.
To be fair, I have no idea if we're streaming at all.
I don't think you are.
So if you can hear us, let us know.
Wait, did that computer die?
No, this computer died, but it doesn't usually go to no signal. Somebody, the voice of the elusive person, they can still hear us.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Video.
Well, we'll presume that y'all can hear us. Let us know in the chat if you can. We are just
Yeah, nobody's
perpetually-
saying yes, they can hear us. So I'm going to actually go out on a limb and say that they cannot.
Yeah.
Oh, the computer crashed. See?
Oh no, Ragnar
Oh,
says
they can. Okay. Oh, great. All right. Well, then we will just sit here and continue talking about whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Um,
feel like this is
But it's gonna be interesting.
I don't know. It's not worth really going into. It's something that's been happening, obviously, for our regular listeners and viewers. It's something that has sort of been plaguing us for a little while here, particularly out of Austin, particularly on Monday, and there's something about that just we have to get figured out. We'll do our best, but for those of you that are hanging out with us, still
Rick
enjoying the
W.
broadcast.
Sorry, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Anybody have any questions or anything for Aaron and I? Let's keep them appropriate. So Gary C, just, I don't know, maybe don't.
Maybe have them give you an estimated chip count.
Yeah, if you have any questions, drop them here in the chat. We'll do our best to answer those. And in the meantime, let's see here. What is today? Today is Monday, which means
So Squiroo is asking what was our favorite moment of the meetup game, and the last hand where I stacked Aaron was my favorite moment of the meetup game, just because. I mean, I already had all the chips, so like it wasn't the money, it was just. It just felt real good. It felt really good, you know.
yeah, you got me good. It was the
I
limp
know.
back raise as well.
He didn't believe me. He thought I had 7 deuce. Was just trying to get
did.
the bounty.
I did think you had 7 deuce. Let's see. My favorite part of the game. So
there was
aside,
so much good stuff going on. Like there was.
yeah.
But go ahead, continue.
Well, aside from just like seeing everybody, and like I just generally didn't have a very good memory to begin with, but ever since COVID, really have struggled with remembering faces and names and everything. So for everybody that I had met before but saw again and was like, "Hey, I'm Aaron," like I apologize, but it was great to see you guys again. I'm trying to drill those faces and names into my memory banks for the future, but it was great to meet all of you guys, see all of you again. And then just, I guess from the poker standpoint, making the final table was pretty great, of course. That was pretty.
But
that was pretty awesome.
Yesterday. at
But
the meeting
from
game.
the meetup game, I think my favorite part was getting to play hideaway bomb pots.
That was cool. Yeah.
If we
for
could,
sure.
if we can get the hideaway bomb pot into the rotation here, because right now in Austin, if you want to play the 2-5 game or pretty much any game,
Yeah.
like it's dealer's choice, and between 3 games, Hold'em, Crazy Pineapple, or I guess a couple of pineapple variants. You could do regular pineapple or
Well, no, right now, so
Omaha.
the house
PLO.
rules, just to keep it consistent, is Hold'em, PLO, or pineapple, or crazy pineapple.
Yeah.
That's it. So just crazy pineapple.
yeah,
And that's just so that, we don't have to get too in the weeds about differentiating between crazy pineapple and
Sure.
and explaining the difference to the players at the table. We just want to keep the game moving.
yeah.
So
But I would really love to get Hideaway into that rotation. I think that it is a game that enough players will appreciate once they know that that's a game that can be played and how it can be played.
Yeah, sure.
Because I think it's a lot of fun. Like it's
tricky.
Hold'em with an extra twist that makes it almost as unpredictable and crazy. Like there could be hidden nuts and stuff out there, just like in Omaha. In Omaha, even the nuts are more visible in
Hideaway,
Hideaway.
like I won one of the Hideaway bomb pots with a flush. I had I had nut spades, but there's only 2 spades on the board. I had 3
Yeah.
spades in my hand.
It was awesome.
Yeah. Well, going back to the chat before we miss these things. Ted, I don't know if that's a question or not. But how did how did I do at the game? I won. I mean, I was. It was an 800 cap in the game. I did get stacked early, so I was in for 2 buy-ins, and I cashed out just over 6K. So it was a good day. Let's see. Ragnar Overby wants us to do a harsh but fair. Have you done this harsh but fair?
No, what is it?
It's Caitlin's thing on her podcast. So she ends every podcast with
With a
the
harsh
guest
but fair.
and
Okay.
her and Craig doing a harsh but fair for each other.
Oh,
So
okay.
just something, anything. So
Something,
I need to
anything?
think about that for a minute. I'm not. That needs some time. But who is the better poker player between the 2 of you? I'm gonna say Aaron's the better poker player,
Well, thank you.
but I'm saying that entirely just to stroke his ego.
And then when the harsh
it's
but fair comes
entirely
out, it's going to
untrue,
be
but-
actually I'm the better poker player.
Let's see. Gary C. No, not going to discuss November primaries. Cool. What is Hideaway? Oh, Jedi Master Ted wants to know. He's very excited about it also.
Yeah.
So Hideaway, it is 3 cards. First 2 cards are dealt down. Third card is dealt face up, and it remains face up in front of you for the hand. And then the hand just plays out as Hold'em. So it's 3 cards Hold'em. You can play any number of cards, 1, 2, or 3. Or none. You can play the board. And that's really all there is to the game itself.
Yeah. The interesting nuance of that game, Carolyn already mentioned it, but like if you're playing all 3 of your cards, say you have a 6 of spades up and then like ace king of spades in the hole, you only need 2 spades to come out on the board for you to have the flush because you can play all 3 of your cards. So the rest of your opponents see that you have 1 spade. They don't know what you have in the hole, and it may not even occur to them, right? Like if
Then
you're
that
not
was the
really
thing.
thinking
When
about it, like
I
do
got
they have rolled up
called,
spades?
I got called on that hand
and I turned over the flush, and they were like, "Oh my god, I didn't even realize that you could have a flush there."
Yeah.
And the very first time that we played this game, I mistakenly, like, it just didn't click for me because I had a set. So I had like King 10-10 or something on a board that was King 10 whatever. And it didn't even occur to me that I had a boat
Oh, okay.
because it's not a paired board. So I folded.
Oh no.
I folded the boat
Folded a boat.
because I just thought I had a set.
Yeah.
Which it's just rookie mistake, you know?
Yeah.
But it's something that obviously anybody can do.
Yeah, and what's really cool about all of these games, it happened particularly well with Omaha when Omaha got sort of adopted as the default bomb pot here. You remember when it wasn't, right?
Well, somebody
like
did that at the table that I was at earlier today, where he thought he had a boat because he had a set and a pair if he played 3 cards from his hand.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And we had to explain to him that you don't have a boat, you have a flush
Yeah,
with 2
flushed it.
entirely, like, one of those cards and then your dangling card, which you thought was irrelevant, and you still win, so, like, it's okay, but
Yeah.
there's no boat, the board's not paired, you can't have a boat. And
Gotcha.
he's like, no, but I have, and we're just like, you win, just take the money.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But there's a learning process, right?
Absolutely.
And this happened when we transitioned from doing Hold'em bomb pots, which is what we used to do here forever, all the way up until we got enough momentum behind the PLO to really switch over. And it was that, like, people just had to sort of fumble their way through. They kind of had to make enough mistakes and be, like, upset at the game until they realized, oh, wait, actually all I have to do is just play tighter, and then all of the people that were playing like I used to are the
Right.
ones giving me the money,
Right.
right? And so then we all kind of just, like, figured it out, and now everybody knows that you pretty much don't want to play 1 pair. You don't want to play 2 pair even unless it's, like, a very disconnected board.
Well,
and
you
whatever.
don't. I mean, we play double board PLO bomb pots, which is.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, from like a poker, like when you look at poker from a very high level view, like that's nuts. Why? What are we doing? That's crazy. Why are we playing double board PLO bomb pots? We are
Awesome.
such degens.
No,
here.
it's awesome.
It's amazing.
So
No, it's
great.
amazing. But like if you were playing poker 50 years ago and you saw this, you would be like, these people are out of their minds.
Yeah,
Like, what are they doing?
yeah.
But
true.
it's fantastic. It's fun, and you know you can be better than other people at them. You can understand the goal of what you're trying to do here. You know, you're trying to scoop these bomb pots. You know, okay, I want to scoop. I have to either have both boards or I have to get somebody to fold.
The other
Whatever,
board,
yeah.
right? Because I've got the nuts on one or something equivalent to the nuts, and I can bet huge,
Right.
and get someone to fold a mediocre hand on
Right.
that other board that would have taken half the pot away from me.
And if you're going to be the guy to be calling there with your, I would say mediocre. Like you should never call a bomb pot with mediocre.
Yeah, but mediocre.
Unless you have like mediocre plus on both boards.
Exactly.
You know, that's when you want, and it's heads up. Like there's just like a lot of things that have to work out for that to be a good call there.
Yeah.
So you can take advantage of that if you have, you know, the nuts on one board or something like that. So they're very interesting games. They are crazy.
What I really
very
like about Hideaway is doing Hideaway double boards gives everybody enough opportunities to like get in there and have multiple players in battling, fighting for half of the pot.
Well, and they're just having the one card face up means that, you know, when you're showing one card to the nuts, you can rep it and get other hands to fold if you, you know, so it gives a lot of opportunity for that too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it
like-
becomes a very interesting game.
I think in an ecosystem where that game was able to be played enough and the players were consistently like being faced with the prospect of like, oh yeah, I really need to think about what you have rolled up under there. I think it would be
sure.
really fun. Like I think people would really
We should just
enjoy
run
it.
a hideaway game.
We should.
I'm in.
We
Oh,
absolutely
Kristen's
should.
in.
Like a
I think we
1K
should.
cap, just hideaway like.
Well, it should
2-5.
definitely be part of like our mixed game. Well, but it's limit mixed, so it's kind of.
Just play 2-5
But
hideaway.
I mean, it would be really cool to play. Maybe we start at 1-2 just because even you, who's played it before, hasn't really played enough hands to actually be able to say like, "Oh, I get this for sure."
Oh yeah, I haven't solved it. That's for sure.
And anybody who wants to participate in the game is gonna be like, "Oh, I've never played this before. Explain the rules to me." Okay, well, let me just put thousands of dollars on the table in this game that I've literally never played before. I don't think that's gonna go over real well.
I don't know. We'll find them. We gotta get out in the backyard and start digging.
So, but we should just run a straight hideaway game, for fun. You know, small stakes kind of thing, just because it'd be interesting.
Friday night hideaway.
And I do think it should be played as no limit, particularly because of that up card and the opportunities for like bluffing and stuff like that. Like
Yeah, that's
It
where
would-
the sicko moves are gonna come in.
exactly, yeah, because it would be such a bummer to be like, man, if this were no limit, I could get you to fold just based on this up card, but we're playing a limit game, and you're gonna call me for one bet 100% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's a lot. It would be a lot more interesting as a no limit game or
Yeah,
pot limit.
I think it's got to be no limit. That's for sure. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we can make it happen. If you're in or around the Austin area, you should come on down to TCH Austin.
If
Hang
you
out with
are
me and
still
Carolyn.
here
We'll play.
in the live stream chat world, welcome back to poker. We've made it through the black hole and we have emerged on the other side.
We channeled through the wormhole.
This.
And the other side involves Durr with King Queen suited, 3-betting.
Okay.
Big Country and Big Daddy Chaz making the call. I presume Big Daddy Chaz with this gigantic tower of black chips.
Oh, just
along with
20K
everything
at a
else.
5-5 game.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, we used to just play 5-5 uncapped. So, and he just flops open end and he's going to get there.
Yeah, top pair, second kicker here for Durr. Also has backdoor, Broadway, and diamond out. Big Country is out of there with the second pair. Chaz, though, of course, as we said, not going anywhere. Makes the call for 300 and bink.
Bink just gets there. Gross, Chaz. Diamond, though, so...
Yeah,
Durr
which
does
is
pick
all
up-
the more reason for Durr to continue betting.
Yeah, of course.
When you have a hand as strong as top pair with a good kicker and you turn additional equity, oh, he's going to check, though. I guess he feels he has too much of this board, and therefore it's a spot to give his opponent an opportunity to
bluff it,
bluff.
yeah.
Big Daddy Chaz, of course, not bluffing, going for value and going for good value, 900 into 1.2. So 3/4 pot size bet here. Back over to Durr. For this size, definitely just going for the check call. Pot swells to 3K.
Oh.
Ace of clubs here on the end. No good for Durr, and Big Daddy Chaz has the queen high straight and the best hand. 3K in the middle, looks over at his opponent's stack, realizes that overbet all in, not out of the question. I think he's going to go for something more to the tune of like 2.3, but the overbet all in is also very much in play.
Did you just nail that sizing
I think
exactly?
2.8.
Oh.
2.6, okay. So just
The stacks are not 100% correct.
That's fine. I was talking about sizing.
2.6 here. Durr actually now in a bit of a predicament. Having the king of diamonds is kind of good, kind of bad. It blocks the Broadway straight if that was ever a thing from King Jack, and yet at the same time also interacts with like the King 9 diamonds of the world.
Feedback.
It's one combo. I get that. Maybe every once in a while, Big Daddy Chaz, who opened to 50 and called 3-bet, could have something like a King 5, King 6 of diamonds.
Yeah, he gets
But yeah, I think he just doesn't quite interact with the board in a good enough way to make the call there and gets away from it. I like the fold. It's an uncomfortable spot to fold,
Yeah.
but I do think it's the correct one. Obviously, we can see that it is, and Chaz will just stack even more chips into his gargantuan pile. Taking off the cap, really working here for Chaz.
Yeah.
The cap
Just
isn't even
throw
on the
that
belt
cap
anymore.
in the trash, man. I don't think that was working for you. Just kidding. Don't do that. But
I'm going to go dig through the trash here for a minute. I'll be right back.
okay. So we move on to the Chaz Wins show. We're going to continue
How about you do
with
double
that.
shots and we do single shots?
You ready for the big blind?
That's only fair, right?
I would think you deserve it.
Nothing quite like riding the heater
Of course.
on the felt. Nothing quite like it.
You deserve
You know, it's a great feeling to just run, just like be on that center line. You just can't miss, you know.
That's the
Yeah,
ironic
you
part
keep
about
getting
it.
premiums or playable cards, and even if you don't, you're like, I should probably just see a flop with 6-4
Yep.
suited. And yeah, sure enough, got pair in a straight draw. Oh, got there, cool.
When you like
know?
just keep hitting flops and you pick up a garbage hand and you're like, and then the flop comes out and you're like, man, why am I folding anything today?
So Whammo
Yeah, I'm not getting
in
trapped.
seat number 2 over here.
Gonna make a tight fold with ace jack off, right? With ace jack off?
Yeah. Whammo, player that frequents the 2-5 game here.
Indeed. Very nice. Nice guy.
So another battle here. Let's see. We got Durr with 9-8 and Chaz on ace-8. So Durr going to outflop his opponent.
Because I watched some
Picks up a club flush draw as well here on the turn and is just going to win. I guess there are no aces in the deck
bikers that are out there and the phone
Interesting.
remaining. Somehow we know this.
Or the only ace left is the ace of clubs.
fucking like 10 bikes.
Ah, that's
That's-
probably what it
yeah.
was. Yeah. I was going to say, did we really see all of the aces folded? But it is
Yeah, that's
interesting.
exactly what it, because it shows the ace of clubs is the only one left. So if it comes out, he's got the flush.
Gotcha. Perfect.
You win?
Yeah, it's fun to have that built in where we sort of have the additional information as the viewer, as the observer of which cards have been folded, so that informs our updates on the equities. But of course, from the player perspective, they're always anticipating that they're going to have full access to their range of outs. So definitely a different space.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we know the folded cards, but
Hot odds.
you can't just assume that
I got this many.
your outs are folded.
Yeah.
He fucking checked.
Big Daddy Chaz going to go ahead and check after putting out the $100 straddle and getting a bunch of players limping, and King Jack 10 Broadway flop here.
You have it?
Check, check, check. Over to Kim. Well, black eights. He's going to stab at this. 420 in
Yeah.
the middle.
I mean, a check to him. Why wouldn't you? You know? He's like, I have a pair. Nobody wants it, so
Yeah.
I'm going to take it
He
down.
wins.
And nobody had anything on that board, or at least not enough worth.
Andy, come on, man. Here,
Hang
I'll
him out,
give
so
you $5 without any,
Let's go.
any powers.
Look
any
at that chip count.
ability.
21.3 and then 8.7. Amazing. And the towers, just the absolute towers of chips.
Yeah.
They're starting to rival the Malibu.
And it's going to heighten me up. I took all your
That's tough to
energy.
do. That's a big bottle of Malibu.
Yeah, it is.
Let's see if that works out for you.
All your energy.
If he can stack the chips up over the Malibu bottle without them falling,
Yeah, huh?
that'll be a feat.
$10 straddle, $100 restraddle.
The 100 is just on. Like Chaz here is, it's just 100. If there's any way for him
You
to
know,
put
and this
100
is
out
the thing.
there,
It's like, Chaz is putting $100 in every pot blind, which
Yeah.
is, I mean, he's kind of gifting $100 back to the game every hand. But at the same time, he's also winning like 70% of those hands. So, sure, you're putting in $100 in every hand blind, but you're also just destroying every flop.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
It
look,
feels like when you're Chaz, you're like, oh no, I'm like, I'm giving back to the game. Like I'm putting the money in play. Let's go.
Well, so I was going to say that Kim here has really missed an opportunity to pick up some dead money with a good premium hand, but he's going to limp it, and now he should be back jamming. And he's not going to, though. He's going to continue to play this one tricky
He's
trappy.
definitely going to lose this to Chaz because Chaz is just going to flop. Flop's going to be like 7, 8, 10.
Well, even if it's not that, as long as there's no ace, no king, he can just c-bet, and Kim is going to have to fold. This is sort of the,
Or just, you know.
Well, he's only got a
He's
gutter, but
gotta
he's going to
get
bet,
gutted.
and Kim's going to have to fold the best hand here. Almost always.
I mean,
we don't know that.
I don't know. I think he calls.
Wait, you think he calls this all in?
Oh, is it an all in?
Yeah.
Oh.
Chaz only has one move when Kim is on this short of a stack.
I don't know. Damn. All right.
Yeah. So
He was going to get there anyways, Kim. So just, like, know that your fold was good despite the fact that ace high was ahead. Because there was 7 on the turn for sure.
Yeah, but sort of when you sit in a game that is billed as a 5-5, but someone's putting a $100 straddle out there, you are sort of forced
Yeah,
to
I'm not
adjust
sure
your
why
game.
he doesn't just rip it there when Chaz raises.
Yeah.
And it gets back around.
And it's actually good for you. Like, it feels bad, and it felt bad in that moment for Kim because it was like, that's a lot. I have 1,800. I'm going to have to play for my whole stack. Let me limp and then call and see a flop with a hand that can flop really well. And yet
yeah,
at the
but it
same
could also
time,
just brick.
yeah, but if you go all in, you could win a bunch of dead money.
Right, and you could go flop brick, turn brick, and I mean, you could brick the whole thing, and so long as 9-6 off bricks the whole thing too, then you're still good, first of all.
Yeah.
And Chaz is going to be raising super wide there just because he's on a mega heater and has a gazillion chips. Like, he's trying to get every chip on the table. So at least put him to the test. Be like, all right, you want to get these chips? We're playing for all of them. Let's go.
Yeah, and Kevin here, facing just a limp to him on the button, is going to go ahead and raise up. And this is how you get it done, right? A7 suited gets to win the hand now. He picks up $210, you know, with no resistance. And A7 suited. Like, A7 suited is not a hand that you want to commit all of your chips with. But, like, a reasonable raise, picks up all the dead money. That's a really good spot. Now, Ace-King off. You're happy to get that all in, or generally speaking, a player would be willing to get it
Well,
all
and I
in.
think Kim's the type of person who would be, but I also think he was trying to get max value from Chaz. I think he was trying to flop good and get paid. You know?
Well, sure. Yeah, no. And that's there's always value to slow playing
I've
top of
heard
range, but
that
Ace-King is just,
flopping the nuts and getting paid is like the trick to poker.
I like doing that myself.
Me too. It definitely, it's tough, you know? You flop the nuts sometimes and you don't get paid, or you flop nothing and you pay.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's definitely like an art to it.
For sure.
All right, what do we got in this hand? Going down.
955 two-tone optimize.
Deuces.
has pair of deuces.
Deuces. We're good. They're still good. Kim has the
Chaz, of course, got
oh,
there.
has a jack. Yeah, that's good.
Why are you
Yeah.
confirming with him? I said
Wow, you
Oh, no, Kim. Kim is there. I was like, Chaz has a jack, but Kim has a jack with a better kicker. Bet 50, call 50, big country here with no business being in his hand. Doesn't realize it's on him, and now he'll fold. 200 in the middle. Kim looking to improve to a king high flush.
He does. But can he call if Chaz just no, Chaz checks. So.
Well, Chaz has showdown value, so he's going to check. And Kim here, if he wants to get paid, should bet somewhere half pottish.
No, real small. Oh no, I guess that's. Oh, sorry, that's only $200.
double.
I thought it.
Double shot.
I assumed there was more chips in the pot.
Yeah. No, I think Chaz actually just directly folds here. Like, I think Chaz is just like fully engaged. Never mind.
No.
He
He
gonna
says,
pay
"I
off.
have a spade, so let's."
He has so many chips that I guess 125s is kind of whatever.
He was like,
but-
these chips are in my way, so you can take them.
There it is. Trying to make a little room.
Yeah.
A little room for the Malibu. The
I
Malibu has its own seat at this point.
Yeah, the Malibu should actually be dealt in
Yeah.
and have some of Chaz's chips in front of it. And let's just see what happens. I think it could be, real interesting.
Yeah. Malibu wins.
Don't be a pussy. Are you giving them the other one? You need to go get another bottle.
Donnie here flopping the nuts and folding the river is the story of my life.
That's very
I'm
unfortunate.
sorry, dude. You got to start calling the river, man.
Don't be a pussy.
That's a little too petite.
Can we gamble you?
That's definitely tiny.
I just went to go check, and yes, we can.
Right.
Once again, I get to go first. Think about swiping this.
Go.
Two blondes. Four calls.
Unleash the fury, Mitch. Oh, you're waiting to see the damage again?
Yeah, I gotta just like know where I'm at. Yeah.
47? You could beat that.
I'm not feeling confident.
I like that. I like that.
Come on, Streamlabs.
32. You got a 32 incoming.
The hesitation, the anticipation. Did I win?
Never mind. 91.
Ooh,
Quite spicy.
I like it.
All right, multi-way action here as we are going 3 ways to a flop. A lot of broadways involved, and 2 broadways on the flop, only connecting with Big Daddy Chaz in terms of pairs. Both Dur and Big Country on gutters, and Big Country banks it on the turn.
There you go.
Checks through to the nuts.
Well, let's do 200.
Take a peek. Fire out 2 hundies.
Yeah, he's got this pretty well locked up though, so I don't know if he gets paid. He's got the ace of hearts. I mean,
All right, drinking Malibu around the table as junior producer Seth is
Seth made a point because he was like, I would drink this, but I know the camera's on me right now, so I'm going to pour it in this cup right here. And what he doesn't know is that we can see him in the background drinking it over there. I'm just kidding.
good man. Seth.
All right, we
Take
get to
care
go
of
to a
everybody.
river. Hearts gets there.
Y'all really check? I'll check. Fuck yeah. I
And
still got the
he
second
looks like he's ready to just check it over.
prior to the river.
Wow. What?
Turns the
Check down?
nuts.
With the ace of heart, check
Yeah.
down. I don't think anyone was calling anything other than like a bet of 75 or 100 or something
Sure,
really
but-
silly. But at the same time, when you have the nut with the nut blocker, or nut straight with the nut flush blocker, that's a pretty good spot to go for value and then call any bet,
Yeah.
any race.
Yeah.
Dude, what a fucking check.
Just 'cause, like, what
Like,
it is.
and he's in position. He's on the button. Like,
Wait.
I mean,
I did not check the nuts.
what do you think
There's
you're
like
gonna
14
Even
nuts.
at the ace
check
of
raise?
hearts,
Like,
dude.
if you bet there,
I have a flush.
you're. I don't know. I guess. Okay.
Okay, I'm very cautious.
It's all good.
when I
Takes
like
down the
everybody
pot,
else in
big
player.
country, dragging big pots, and
Dave.
Kim here gonna limp UTG. That'll bring in Whammo UTG. And as long as it's $5, let's try to see some flops with these middling connectors.
Big Country can't fold. He is.
He's got a dirty diaper on.
Let's go. He tried to get the dirty diaper instead of the 7 deuce last night at the meetup game. I mean, one or the other, it doesn't really matter, but
Yeah.
I think
They're
I
both
actually
terrible.
would have had the opportunity to play with 3 deuce
More often.
if the because I just never had 7 deuce.
Get me real quick. That's why I drink it. Yeah, I'll start
All right, so we've got. What do we have?
Top pair, second kicker for Optimize.
check.
Should be well out in
Big
front.
Country's got a gutter. 5? No. Okay, never mind.
You want pocket queens right
Queens
now?
are hot tonight.
Indeed.
Optimize here. Makes trips. Fires out for 2/3. Hopes that somebody has like a 4 or a 6 or something, and then nobody has nothing. So he's just gonna win.
Dirty diaper.
Takes it
See
down.
what I'm talking about? Dirty
I'll
diaper,
do it.
I had to play it 'cause Maine.
21.2K in front of Big Daddy Chaz there. What a night he is having. Feel like he's had a couple of big nights here. as of late, right? Like, didn't he just sort of steamroll the table if it wasn't just last week, but the week before, something like that? Just
So the last, I think it was last week. Maybe the week. No, I think it was last week.
I can't. I
Um,
didn't know
yeah,
that was
just
the
like
name
full
Dan.
blown.
Maybe it was
Now it's new to me.
one way or the other. He was in for 5K, got stacked early,
Yeah,
So
like it was a
rebought.
comeback. Yeah.
and managed to make money, but I don't think it's anywhere near as good as what's going down tonight, which
I
is
didn't hear him. You're just naming.
Do it if every single hand has a
single buy-in. He's in for 5K total, and he has
There's a 100%
I don't know.
hands.
43 billion in front of him. I don't know.
He has
He has
Twitter.
one Twitter.
He has
That's what
Twitter
I
in
was
front
going
of
to
him.
say. 44, but you know.
7-4 off.
He's 1 billion shy of a Twitter.
Fuck, I have the razzmatazz. I gotta go with it.
Must be nice. Kim here getting spicy, facing these limps. He's gonna squeeze it up with fives out of the big blind. Love to see it.
Airplane pilot or something.
And this is gonna be folds down the line.
Yeah,
Fives.
there you go.
Let's go.
He doesn't look like a trick.
Big chunky squeeze. Love to see that.
Yeah.
Just love to see it. Well played.
All right, someone
tips.
is very concerned about
Oh,
this
this is
cup
after
on
the
the rail just because of previous situations, aka sippy cup.
Yeah, like, what's wrong with you? Fucking get a new car.
Kristen saying it's empty.
Show a little
In this video, it looks like there's something in it, but you could be right. I don't know. One way or the other, this is the past, and we
Definitely get scared.
can't really do anything about it. No, actually, I think it might be empty.
Yeah, you are?
Optimize.
It's working out for
Big
me.
Country limping, 5-4 suited. Optimize, waking up with ace queen suited. He's going to call. Durr is saying, I'm still stuck and I want to win chippies. So 8-5
There's no way.
suited. Let's go. He is going to get called in 3 spots, so 4 ways to a flop.
Yeah, they're strange. Yeah. Especially like that. Calm down.
Deuce, 6, queen, 2 spades. Big Country has a gutter to a straight flush. Optimize has top pair, top kicker. Durr has 8 high and a pair under the table, I guess, because he's just going for it. Into 3 players.
Yeah, half spot here. The back door.
Can you take one back?
And Kim has already clearly folded. It's
As
fun. Big Country though. Big Country with the gut shot to the straight flush. He is not going anywhere. And Optimize with top, no chance either.
And now he's got a pair of 4s, so he's got more outs to go along with the any spade, but also the 3 of spades specifically.
Durr here would have to be real gutsy. He did pick up equity.
Yeah, he's got a gutter now.
He's going for it.
Let's see the 7 of spades on the river.
That would be nasty.
Yeah,
That would
so.
be real nasty. 1K bet here, half pot. Big Country once again, pair and a flush draw, and a gutter, and a gut shot to the straight flush. All of the things.
Okay, I don't think Pete's ever folding. I think he's ripping it here. But Optimize. I'm
Look at
gonna
him
put
counting
I'm
his
gonna put
outs.
$5.
Outs, man.
I'm gonna put $5 on the fact that Optimize folds the best hand.
1,000?
You think he calls?
I think Optimize is the one that jams this. And only if Big Country jams. I don't think Optimize folds the best hand.
I'm going to call it.
And that's what this is on, right? The 5 is on Optimize, folding the best hand.
Did he just call?
I don't know, but this
I
is
thought I
that's
was
what
gonna
this is
rip
on.
it. Yeah.
No, come on.
All right, fine. All right. Maybe.
Optimize doesn't fold the best hand. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I'm saying he folds the best hand.
Yeah, you'll get my 5 if he does.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
take
what's
my
up.
money.
Thank you.
6 of hearts on the end. Changes nothing. Big
Fours
Country will
is
win with a
good.
pair of 4s if we get to showdown. But Durr, I don't think
I
took
can't
this
imagine
line.
we are ever getting to showdown here with that.
He doesn't have a spade. He's
Ow.
got to go all in. He has the 5-3
Now, if
block.
Pete can call him with a pair with fourth pair, he has third pair.
All in and a quick fold, and Durr wins with 8 high.
Well played, Durr. Well played.
Well played, Durr. See, yeah.
I mean, Pete did make his, like, where he was at pretty well known when he's literally at the table counting his outs. Like,
He's
oh, so you
counting
need
his
to get
outs on
there?
his hand. Yeah. And
So
like,
obviously he knows that, and 6 pairing the board is like, that's never one of your outs. So, yeah, all in.
None of them came in.
ace queen folding there. I mean, optimized, like, obviously these multi-way spots are always challenging. It's not to say that, like, you just have to, like, die on a certain hill every time, but top with draw heavy boards against opponents, a specific opponent that has shown himself the ability, the
I just
tendency
felt the
to
fold.
go
I
flashy.
felt it.
Well, you've seen him counting his fucking
know.
hand.
I was right.
You were. You definitely were. You got my 5 like instantly. I was like, no chance. No, you can't fold top down. No, you can't. You know, just like done. But tough spots too.
No, you're
Sitting
up
on the
against
felt,
2
you're gonna be
players.
sick. You're gonna
Like,
be
you
sick
feel
in that spot.
when you make that fold and it, whatever happens, like everything bricks and it goes bet fold, and you're like, you don't have anything, or it gets to showdown and you're like, oh my god, how is this? How did I fold here
You saw his hand.
so incorrectly?
Did you see his hand?
And I definitely think the move there for him is just jam there on the turn.
Well, he had an 8K stack, so a jam was pretty big.
100% bluff.
Yeah,
For
but
optimized,
neither of
talk
his,
about optimized.
but he's not the effective stack there.
100% bluff.
That's all right.
No, but he's
I think it's-
covered.
Yeah.
He was covered by Durr.
I don't
So how
think so.
Okay, but Durr
but-
has a lot of chips. So
I mean, yeah,
jamming
sure.
8K into 3K was a pretty big move. In any case, you're not wrong about putting in a raise at some point,
Yeah.
or just continuing to call, because the 1K and your opponent's there, like literally like showing on their hand, like how many outs do I have? With
I
this flush draw?
need to get there still. Let me just make it known to the table that
Yeah.
I'm probably behind.
Just like call the 1K and
Right.
see if a spade or whatever comes, and if it doesn't, then reevaluate. Yeah, but again, we can all see the cards. We all kind of know what's going on.
Apparently, I'm too loud today. Usually,
you?
people tell me I'm too quiet. Kristen, can you turn me down? I don't know.
She's at least 14, 15. Did you graduate high school yet?
I am definitely 22.
Oh, shit. Can you buy me a 6-pack later?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, good.
Don't worry about it.
There's a 4 and a 6.
we have to wait 15
All
minutes before you
right.
finish.
5-5. Pete says no straddle, bitches. But I will.
What was the first draw?
And he does.
I love Pete, though. He's one of my favorite people by far to play poker with. Like, I don't care what the game is. If Pete's at the table, I'll just be like, no, can I move to that table?
Yeah.
You get your syphilis results.
4 raises to 120.
All right, what we got here? We had a
What?
Did you get your syphilis results?
what?
What are you?
55 table. You had
What a mercy.
Kristen's asking me if I got
I-
my syphilis results. I don't.
Pete had asked Freddie that in the middle of a big hand.
Oh, Pete asked Freddie that in the middle of it.
And Freddie was
Oh.
you had made a
Whoa.
Pete was tanking on it.
Oh, I made a big bet. Pete was tanking. I don't know. I'm confused, but I don't remember this.
Remember that? Oh my god.
So, okay, that sounds like something Pete would say, though.
All right, Jacks versus Queens. Pete's got top set. Somebody folded ace nine of spades on the flop. Would have turned the nut flush draw. And been able to see a river real cheap. It doesn't get there, but
Yeah, I think Dave is the kind of player that's sort of gonna get away from this without losing too much.
it depends on what Pete bets. 250.
Oh, that's a small bet.
Yeah, I think Pete can get the 250 out of him. He's got.
Yeah, but I mean, all things considered, when it's queens against jacks, and
I mean,
you
I don't-
lose.
Right, and I think if
500.
I'm Dave and I call the 250 there, I just go, Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay, you have top set. Cool. That's
Yeah.
cool.
He's showing him the jacks, showing him the Judys, showing him the J wins. He's gonna fold.
Set.
I know.
Is there any teriyaki beef jerky up there?
Oh, I
Nope.
lied.
He's going.
I'm glad you didn't want to bet me another $5. Just bleed me dry over here. Makes the call.
Pete's like, I have.
Damn, you got a lot of
Still though, I mean, yeah, he lost and it sucks, and that was a cooler. Well, it didn't lose nearly as much as
Exactly.
like, you and I run queens into jacks. Like one of us is getting fucked up. In that.
Getting all of the chips. There's no way I lose $400 in that pot.
Well, I think by the end of it, it was like $625, but that's still like a pretty decent
Yeah.
price. When they have the
$400
stacks that they have.
post flop. There, that was how much it ended up being because it was 150 or maybe it was 625, whatever it was. All I know.
125, 100, or 150, and then 250. Yeah, so it was 625.
Yeah. If I have what, like
An hour of it.
4K in front of me, like
Losing 625 is like.
yeah, I'm losing
myself.
probably minimum 1,500 there, depending on the way the other person plays it.
No
but-
bathroom break, no drinking, no smoking, no nothing.
Ace queen off.
Jinx, you owe me
Happy
Topa.
person on tape.
All right, put it on my tab.
Laughing as much as possible.
Put it on my tab.
He's running really fucking good today. No one's on your level, dude.
So this was a $100 straddle, as you do, from
Fuck you. Where's the
BDC.
200?
Kevin
I think
making it 300 on the button,
it's right here.
and Chaz makes the call.
Did Chad look at his cards? Do we know?
Who knows? So Chaz is in here. He's in here to win. Queen high board,
No, we haven't looked
two
at the video.
tone. Kevin does not control a heart. Could check this back.
Calling off.
Could bet small.
I mean, we gotta wait. Are you gonna look
Could
at
also
it?
bet large,
I don't
but
believe him at all.
I think his exact combination benefits from a small wager. But he is going to go
What,
big.
500?
I'm fucking, I had $100.
Just take it down.
It's gonna crash again.
Oh no.
The hamsters have once again passed out from dehydration.
Well, that's a bummer.
Stop calling the action. It has crashed again.
We've gone dark, and we have gotten word from the other side of the wall that they will not be bringing it back up. So,
All right. Well, we once again will have to apologize for technological failure on our end. We do appreciate all of you guys tuning in. For all of our regular viewers, thank you guys for coming back each and every stream. For anybody joining us here for the first time or the first couple of times, we appreciate you coming in and hanging out with us, and we hope that you'll come back. We do hope to have these issues ironed out before you tune in again, but we'll do our best around here just to sort things out and make it happen. But yeah, for myself, for the staff here at Texas Card House here in Austin, TCH Live Monday, 5-5, match the stack game. For myself, Aaron McAvoy, for Carolyn, and everybody else, we wish you all a good night and hope to see you all again soon. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
night, everybody.